lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the setbacks endured. We see lessons applied and passion driving you upward and forward. We don't see all the masks you wear, but we hope you can set some aside. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your past, your fears, or your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see hope, a path forward, a future. We see all veterans. We see you. An opportunity to help you achieve a new mission, whatever that may be. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit maketheconnection.net.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
The Transportation Safety Administration is telling travelers to prepare for a busy holiday season at Denver International Airport. The TSA expects more than 1 million passengers to pass through DIA between December 19th and January 1st. The busiest travel days before Christmas expected to be the 19th and 20th. December 30th should be the busiest day between Christmas and New Year's Day. The Broncos have signed left tackle Garrett Bowles to a 4-year contract extension through the 2028 season.
I don't want to go anywhere else. I could have hit free agency and, earned more money or whatever it is. I never cared about money. I cared about a legacy, and I think legacy speaks volume for a type of man. And I wanted to create a legacy here.
Bowles is having another excellent season, ranking second among tackles in quarterback pressure percentage and sack percentage. The 8-5 Broncos are coming off their bye week and host the 6-7 Colts on Sunday. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Ben Ferguson Podcast.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Some road work here and there will hold you up. The one spot right now that's causing delays is going to be along Santa Fe. It looks like both directions, in fact, at the C470 interchange. This is out of the Littleton and Highlands Ranch area. We are looking at backups. There was a water main break yesterday on Boston at Arapahoe. Now, they're making the repairs in there, but they have the right lane blocked on Arapahoe westbound, just approaching I-25 there at that intersection, so some slight delays. But freeway volume pretty light out here for the most part.
Coming up on the Ben Ferguson Podcast, Joe Biden planning mass pardons for many in his administration that he believes may have committed serious crimes. He may even pardon himself. I'll have all the details. Download the Ben Ferguson Podcast now.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. Weekdays 2 to 4, it's Ryan Schuling.
The Right Side of Hollywood with Deborah Flora and Christian Toto as Jimmy Kimmel makes macabre jokes about his staff ogling alleged murderer Luigi Mangione. And a new Christmas song from War. Lead vocalist Lonnie Jordan and manager Jerry Goldstein join the show. It all starts at 2.
well, what? He goes, the motor's bad. Need a new motor. So I says, well, how much is that going to cost? He said, well, it could run a couple of $1,000 or more. So me and my wife, I'll put it in, I guess.
Well, why would you ever? How old is your furnace?
It's only like 6 years old, I think. 10, maybe 10, if that.
Well, why? Okay, so he said you had both the blower motor and you needed the pressure switch, or did he change his mind about the pressure switch?
No, he still put that in, and then he came back and said we need a ventilator inducer assembly. So,
well, what is a ventilator inducer? That's not a fan.
It's kind of like a fan slash. It looks kind of like a car fan. It only weighs out maybe a pound, maybe that. There's 6 bolts to take it off and 2 plug-ins. So anyway,
we're not talking about the blower motor.
No, it's an assembly for ventilator inducer.
Okay, it's a ventilator inducer is a fancy name for a fan in the flue or in the intake. Well, listen, that shouldn't cost that much. That's a ripoff.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Martino. First of all, I want to thank you. We've been listening to you for decades. Nobody will listen to me. What it is when I asked for the old motor, I got suspicious.
How much was this total repair now? Everything.
$3,700.
Do you have heat?
3,200.
Is it 37 or 32?
Let me see. I'm trying to find out.
Just rough.
One of them was 2,791.
I'm not going to do.
Go. No, that's right. And the other one was 484.
All right. So 32. Got it. Yeah, so now, hold on, man. Here's what I need to know. Did they fix the problem?
They fixed the problem, and I paid them because I didn't want them to lien me.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so where does it stand right now? Are you upset that you paid that much?
Well, here's the problem. The problem gets worse now. I took the old motor down to a established, licensed.
When you say motor, okay? When you say motor, you're talking about a little blower fan, a little tiny fan, like is in a computer.
Exactly. Well, it's about like a car heater, maybe.
No, I know what you mean. What it does is it pulls fresh air in from.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I went down there and they gave me a paper saying there was nothing wrong with the old motor. So then we went to Source One and I talked to the gentleman and I told him, by the way, I went to Granger and I took the 2 old parts, the ones they took off. They gave me the price for the one is $53.77, and the price for that other assembly was $206.02.
So total parts are how much?
Together, one was $50.
Just total, bro. Total.
It's about $300.
53.
About $300. So
under 300. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Now, for a place to come out and guarantee and all that, okay, I would say $600 for parts. I know you don't like hearing it, and the world doesn't like hearing it, but that's just life. It's $600 in parts. But how long were they at your house?
Less than an hour. It was 8 screws. But
and so the total bill was $3,200. We got to call these clowns. We just have to call them to justify it. Now, listen, I've always said this before, and I'll say this about our same people. I don't control pricing, okay? And people are expensive. Even our own people on referralist.com, they're good, but I think when I say expensive, they're not cheap. I don't mean overly expensive, okay? So I don't know if this is a fair price or not. I think we should research it. But it doesn't sound good to me.
Well, Mr. Martino, I went to Affordable Plumbing and Heating. They're a good outfit here in Springs. And their bid for the total job, same parts, replacement and installed is $557.
Yeah, but listen, that could be true. But I think one thing's unfair. Is asking someone else after you've had it done. Did you tell them how much you were charged?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to call up one of our buddies down there. Let's call Smith. Kachina. We know Mike's a great guy down there, Mike Robinson. Let's call Smith Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Drains, and ask him to evaluate this for us. I just want to know, roughly, I mean, like I said, we can't control pricing if they got it done and it works, but you're saying there's nothing wrong with the damn motor.
No, I got paperwork on that from the other company. Been in business since the 70s. They put it in writing. They
did. Now listen, no, I don't care about cost of parts. Don't even bother me about cost of parts. Okay, we'll double the cost of parts.
Right. Okay.
But I don't understand 3,700 or 3,200, especially when the dang thing didn't need replacing. So the name of this place is One Source. Kachina, or let's talk to Mike if we can get him on the air to talk. And and then if we have to go further, I'm going to give this to Deputy Doc to shake it down. Because so hold on, and Kachina, get the information for Deputy Doc. But what I want you to do, have you called them back and said, I did some research, the parts were 300, even if I gave you 600 for parts, I didn't even need that one motor. Did you tell them all this?
Sir, I went in person, me and my son, and I spoke to the gentleman, and I told him, look,
I just need no. Okay. I did ask. Did you go? Now here's what I want to know. What did they say? I just need to know that.
He offered me $1,000 in future tune-ups, and I told him, why would I want you?
Yeah. Why would you want? Why would we want you? You frickin' clown. You piece of garbage. I'm getting pissed. If you're telling me the truth, I'm getting pissed. One Source in Colorado Springs. I'm pissed. All right. Thank you very much. On a Friday, on a car day, I'm pissed, and I didn't want to be pissed today. I wanted to be happy.
Well, but Mr. Martino, everything I have is in hard copy. There's nothing nice. Everything is hard copy. But nobody in Springs, from Channel 11 to the district, nobody would listen to me at all. And I told them, but I got taken over $3,000. I'm not unreasonable.
Well,
but come on, and they will not give me a price list of what the parts cost in the labor.
It doesn't matter. Listen, Gary. Let me just school you, because I'm on your side. It's none of your business what they paid for parts. It's none of your business. And it's none of you. What is your business is what did they charge you, and was it reasonable and honest? That's all that matters. Okay? Now, when I say reasonable, unfortunately, they can overcharge and be expensive. What they can't do is lie to you about a part that did not need replacing. So I'm not going to demand that they tell me how much they paid for parts. And I'm not going to demand anything except, did the motor need replacing, or that little fan, the inducer fan, and was it properly replaced? And I think I want to get a gauge of what this job would cost somewhere else. I'm Tom Martino. We got more coming right.
Shorter days and slippery sidewalks, but you don't have to run or walk in the dark. Don't let bad weather stop you from reaching your fitness goals. That's where Fitness Gallery can help. We believe there's nothing more important than your health. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose, from the safety and comfort of your own home. For the fitness fanatic on your Christmas list, we have the nation's lowest prices on the best equipment money can buy. Stop by one of our 7 convenient locations or go to fitnessgallery.com.
All right. I want to tell you about a way to get into investing without too much money. It's called Become the Banker, where you overfund life insurance. Now, listen, it's something you can get started for a few $100 a month. You have a small life insurance policy and purposely overfund it, because that money grows as a cash value, tax-free. And Joe Chiano can teach you how to get that out tax-free as well for income. Or you can borrow from it through your life. BecomeTheBanker.org. It's a solid, good starter vehicle. Now, if you have a lot of money and you want to do it, it can be even more lucrative. But I want you to check it out. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600, 779-6600. Now let's talk about discounting your bath, or improving your bath at a discount, I should say. And I love DiscountBath.com. They do a great job, great quality, and it's at great pricing. In fact, they say they're probably the most reasonable bathroom remodeler around. And you can put them to the test. Have them give you a price without ever coming to your house. You can take a video, right? That hall room, that hallway bath, or downstairs in the basement where they roughed it in, or Jack and Jill, or a master bath. Now, once you take that video, you go on discountbath.com, give them information. They send you a link. You upload the video and get a price. Discountbath.com, 720-979-2322.
If you're not eligible for Medicare or Medicaid and don't have health insurance through your employer, please get in touch with Integrity Health Advisors, and please do it soon so you'll be covered for 2025. Integrity Health Advisors can help you choose among individual or family plans both on and off the exchange.
We're on now. It was my fault. My fault. It's a long story, but I have an automatic scene switcher, and when we're here, it switches from here to my house. And at my house, since there's nothing there, I have a safety screen that goes up. That's where me with that stupid smile.
So are we back online?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell him. I just had to turn off the automatic safety.
Okay. Oh, okay, she says.
Yeah.
You know what sucks about being remote is I can't give Kelly as much shit.
Oh, you can right now.
Well, that's true during breaks.
Really unload on her.
I can't flail around and yell and bitch about her.
Yeah, but
I can, but no one will see it.
She can turn you down easier from here, though.
Yeah.
I got one button that says you ain't on the air.
I am smoking spare ribs tomorrow, Kevin.
Cool. You want me to come down and show you how?
Oh!
Strong.
Killed the
Block his
volume
mic
on
for the
me and then
rest of the
take a
show.
shot. Yeah.
You know what? I heard that you boil your ribs.
Nope.
And then you throw them on the grill for 10 seconds.
Nope. No, the ones that won
I've
that
got
contest,
proof.
I didn't even have any sauce on them.
Yeah, let me tell you, that contest was rigged from the beginning.
You started, you set the rules, and you said spare ribs, and you changed.
No, I did not.
Yes,
I said
you
baby
did.
backs, and you brought in spare ribs.
No, absolutely not.
Well, that's what happened. That's what
We
happened.
can redo. We can do a brisket cook-off, whatever you like.
Actually, we're going to do another rib off, and this time we're all going to do the same ribs.
That's cool. I'm game.
There'll be none of your cheating, lying heart.
It's just hard to get him here for noon.
That's all right. Some of us will bring our little mini smoker right there.
Okay.
Our little pit boss.
Yep. One of my guys bought one of those little Traegers on Craigslist or something for like $50. It's actually pretty cool.
Is it a mini?
Yeah.
That's sweet. I love ours, man. When we're in the RV, that's all I use, basically.
Yeah. Because you can't cook a lot, but if you're on the road, you don't need to, you know.
No, you can cook. You can still easily cook 2 racks on mine.
Yep. Yeah, that's about this one, too.
That's about it, though, yeah. You're not putting a turkey on it.
Yep, I did it. Did you finally do a turkey for Suzanne this year or no?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
It was delicious. I've done 2 smoked turkeys. This year's in another year.
It's drooping my head. That son of a bitch.
What do you think of Tom's hair?
Almost human-like.
Which one?
He's just on a roll today.
Yeah, no, I get them all the time, so I just turn in the same one. Yeah.
All right, here we come.
Stories. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to tell you, WaterPros.net has the best water systems at the lowest prices anywhere. They have the greatest systems, and I'm telling you, if you compare pricing, you'll know. The whole house water softening, year-end special only. Whole house water softening and reverse osmosis drinking water. All of it for $31.95. You'll never get a system like this anywhere else for this price with this quality. In fact, plumbers, minimum $12,000 for this if you can get them to $12,000. Anyway, let's keep going. And Kachina, are you getting Mike on from Colorado Springs?
I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move on then, and I'm going to talk to Chris. He says he has an issue with an HOA. Hello, Chris. What's happening? All right, hold on. I'll get you right now. My fault. Right there. Okay, there's the button. Okay, Chris, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
We inherited a condo from my wife's dad, who passed away in 2021.
Oh,
so
okay. 2021, this happened, all right?
Yeah, so we took over the payments. Well, actually, we paid it off, and we are partners with my sister-in-law.
Okay, so he left it to 2 of you.
Well, there's 3. We bought them out. It's complicated, but
okay. So now your wife and her sister own it.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And so we started paying, the bills, electricity, water. HOA fee was $250.
Now, who lives in it, by the way?
We have renters in there.
Okay.
And so we started paying an HOA fee at $250 a month, which seemed high for an 1,100 square foot house.
Yeah, I know, but it's. Yeah.
But whatever.
Now, you said it's a condo. You said though.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So then, fast forward to April of this year, they've been having some roof problems, and they had a roof claim.
Yeah.
On one of the units. There's like 20 units.
I know, and there's going to be an assessment.
Yeah, so they increased our HOA to $650 a month for a 3-bedroom condo.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, it's happening all over the country, and especially here in Colorado. In fact, they can do it. They can do it one of two ways. If they have a roof claim and they went short in the coffers and they want to build them up, then they would increase the dues. If they're short in the coffers, literally short, then they can sometimes do an assessment, which means a one-time payment from each homeowner.
And that's what they're actually considering doing. So not only did they increase our HOA fee $400 a month, but now they're asking for an approval for an unknown amount for a loan. We don't know what that number is.
Well,
and we're confused.
Chris, can I explain something to you? And this is the mindset I find confusing. And I'm not criticizing you, but I want to give you a dose of reality, and I'll make you smarter, I promise you. You're talking about the HOA as if it's an entity other than yourself. You are, or your sister, your wife and her sister, they are part of the HOA. Okay? The HOA might have a management company, and of course, short of crooked HOA people or a management company, which about 99.9% of the time they're not crooked, but everyone thinks they are. But what I'm saying is, short of that, the HOA simply has to keep a budget. Now, here's what happens. Over the years, sometimes HOAs try to get increases in fees, and everyone votes them down. But what people don't realize is when you turn down an increase in an HOA fee and expenses keep going up, you will eventually run out of money. Okay? Sure. You will eventually run out of money, or run short of money. At that time, the HOA or management company have to make a decision. What do we do? In some cases, they raise the HOA, but that's not enough. So in other cases, they have to get a loan or they have to get an assessment. Either way, it's something that everyone has to do. It is not them against you. Now, the only time it's them against you as owners is if they are lying and cheating, period. Other than that, if they need a loan, they don't know how much, they're being honest. They don't have to tell you how much. I mean, what difference does it make to you if the loan is $200,000 or $500,000 if they need it? If they need it, they need it. It's up to you as an owner to attend meetings and look at the books and be informed. It is not a situation where the HOA is apart from you. That's the one thing people do not understand. They have every right to see why they need a loan, what is the analysis, what is the budget, what is the paperwork. They shouldn't lie to you, or not lie to you, they shouldn't hide that from you. Now, are there times that the HOA are taking kickbacks and payments and management companies are charging too much? That could be, but very seldom. The best way to take control of the situation is to get involved. Get involved in the meetings or get involved on the board. I know that sounds overly simplistic, but you don't have a problem with the HOA. There is no problem. The problem is with insurance, and the problem is with contractors and prices. That's the real problem.
I don't know who to be mad at because I feel like there's something going on with the insurance. We had insurance. We had a roof claim. and they won't pay it.
Let me
and now we got to go get new insurance.
Let me put it into perspective. Let me put it into perspective. I'll tell you who to be mad at. No one. No one. In Colorado right now, you have to be insane to own a condo or a townhome right now. It's the worst time in history to own anything like that because you have no control over the situation. Insurance companies are refusing to cover them, or they're saying the deductible is going to be, like 80% or 50%, or sometimes they say we're not going to cover you at all. Do you know there are condo projects right now that have no insurance for the roof? None. If the roof goes out, everyone in the condo project will have to pay $20,000. $20,000.
I mean, now, we're paying it anyways. Like the insurance won't cover us, so we are liable for the roof because no one will cover us.
Well, that's another issue. If the insurance isn't paying, you have to ask why. Why isn't the insurance paying?
I agree.
I mean, why? I mean, you guys could hire a public adjuster and make the insurance pay if it's due. What reason? See, I don't understand this. You guys had hail damage and the insurance company said we're not going to cover it?
I don't even think it was hail damage. It's just deteriorating. And
well, okay. Guess what? Insurance is not a warranty.
Sure.
Insurance only covers, listen carefully, a casualty event. That's a plane crashing into it or a weather-related incident. That is, or a satellite crashing into it. It is not deterioration. The worst thing that can happen to a condo project is deterioration. Wait until the parking lot needs to be repaved. That's not an insurance thing. Or the swimming pool has to be rebuilt. Or the fencing has to be redone. Or it has to be painted on the outside. See, this is what I'm telling people. They think when they move to a condo, they don't have to worry about maintenance. They have to worry about maintenance just as much as any homeowner does. They just think that this HOA is some entity that needs to take care of them. So really, I know you didn't call for this, but you're going to be smarter for it, Chris. You are a part of the HOA and a part of the management company, and you have to take the bull by the horns in order to find out what's being done and if it's being done efficiently and if anyone's cheating. If no one's cheating, then you're all victims of everything, of like roofs wear out, parking lots wear out. Life has a way of doing that.
Hey, Tom, I have a question. Can he call up the president of the HOA and say, just on a friendly basis, say, hey, look, what's going on? Where's the money coming from? And see if he can get some answers that way?
Well, anybody can try, but if I'm president of the HOA, I don't want to take phone calls from 200 owners. You go to a meeting or you make a formal request. The bylaws set out exactly how to see the books. The bylaws set out exactly what your rights are. Now, again, I want everyone who has an HOA, and a condo and a townhome to listen. I am not giving them an excuse to lie and cheat. If that's happening, that's a different story. Here's the problem. It mostly is not happening. And people are just pissed off that they have to pay the piper.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Yeah, if you're driving into downtown along I-25 northbound, we've got a stall up near 6th Avenue. It's in the right lane. It's actually backed up to Broadway. Pretty heavy stop and go there. Southbound I-25 coming into downtown is a little sluggish. We are seeing some jamming on Pena coming out of the airport. This is going to be just past 56. Opens up from there. There may be a problem on the highway. We'll check on that. Yeah, it looks like 270 is running just a little slow for you. We're still seeing delays down on Santa Fe out of Highlands Ranch, northbound from Town Center up to C470. That's road work. That's your drive.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of the fascinating origins of the organization behind the Red Kettle, the Salvation Army. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
O'Brien Legal Services, that's Brad O'Brien and his team. Now, that is a real estate firm to take care of real estate issues, and one of those he's been busy with helping landlords. What does he do? He helps landlords navigate the new eviction laws and the just cause laws for not even evictions, just for negotiating leases. Listen, you need help. If you're a landlord, don't do it alone. This is one of the areas where O'Brien Legal Services shines. And, of course, anything to do with real estate. 720-370-7388. olslaw.com.
And then Kevin's always
so much
his ribs. I think he buys ribs.
I know, so many buttons, dude. I understand.
Now you're adjusting return audio so our morons can not complain and hear what's going on.
Well, they'll still complain, but they can also hear what's going on.
Are you in a good mood today, Shannon?
Me?
Shannon, are you in a good mood?
No, I have
What's that?
I
Did you
have
talk to
balls
me?
in my face tonight in Boulder. I want to sleep. I just want to sleep, man.
Well, what time did you go to bed last night?
Actually, I roofied myself and got to bed about 7 p.m. after working 13 hours.
Wow.
Not
13 whole hours.
Hey, Tom.
Not bad.
Does he have his headphones on? I can't see.
He does have his headphones on.
Hey, Tom.
He's just not listening to you.
Tom,
what?
Kelly's trying to get in touch with you.
Hey, Tom. Can you hear me?
Offline?
Tom, offline.
Loud and clear,
Offline.
Kelly. Loud and clear.
All right, got what?
Hi, Tom. Okay, Mike Robinson is not getting back to me, so is there somebody else you want me to try for?
In the Springs, well, we don't. It doesn't have to be in the Springs, I guess. We could call Fix It. We could call Plumline. I mean, they're all going to be. And you know what? It would be fair to call companies on our list and see what they
See
would.
if you got email on that, Shannon.
Okay, thank you.
And Mark, you can hear me, right?
Oh yeah.
I'll hit offline. Okay, so let's pick a company for a price. I mean, who else? Any one of our HVAC.
888heating.com.
Yeah, we can call Garrett over there and just get a price. And look, I just want to. It's called. It's the vent fan for the incoming air. I believe that's what it could be. An exhaust
It's
one.
the air movinator.
It's an exhaust fan, yeah.
An exhaust fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Shannon, did you get a Dropbox thing or
ventilator
not?
I might
inducer.
have. Yeah, I saw an email.
Oh,
but
okay. So it is an exhaust fan.
It's an air manipulator.
And so they had that done and some
Pressure switch. The pressure switch turns the ventilator fan on and off.
Did you look that up, or are you
Yeah.
just a smart
I
ass?
have absolutely no idea until I read it, yes.
Did
I
you
was
see what
shocked
the
to hear
prices
that
might be?
Kevin
Well, yeah,
got
a
his
couple $100,
ribs
for
What?
parts
What?
all over, eBay and internet and stuff. And I'm sure there's different varieties and
Listen,
quality.
the thing about HOAs and condos, I know people think they think that that God. I just have to.
Garrett, hi. It's Kelly over at the Tom Martino Show.
Somebody doing a tubing?
I'm good. How are you?
What the hell's that all about?
We have a gentleman
Sounds
on. He's from Colorado Springs, and he used a company, and they needed
Hey,
to
Tom?
replace some
Is that Mark?
parts.
That's probably Mark, yeah.
Mark, at least turn the mic off if you're
Tom,
going to do that.
I'm going to give
Tom
this
wanted to bring you on as an expert to maybe
Gary to
talk
Bo.
about,
It's right up his alley.
the part itself.
Oh, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Let me put that down. Make sure he knows
It's
that.
like the,
well, he's
what
on
do you call it, a
chat,
vent
so-
fan?
Why didn't he come in?
Because he thought we were going to have Jesse
like on
and...
I told him, don't worry about it.
Like the fan thing? I don't
Come
know
on,
anything,
Bo.
You know that.
And Dimitri,
So
I don't think
me-
Dimitri likes me anymore. I think he only.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
All
this
right,
is
hang on for
AT&T.
me.
I give him way more airtime, bro.
Oh God, shit. Good morning. I have
His
today
list
off
of
due
bad
to a
stuff
business
about
lunch
you
and lots
was
of work.
Right.
Thank you for
Yeah,
the
he said that
invitation.
yesterday.
And Mark treats me way better anyway. So there. That's what he said.
Plus, he appreciates my diction better. I make more sense to him.
Your
That's
what,
true.
Shun?
My dick, Shun.
Whoopi Goldberg accuses RFK of fat shaming Americans. Yeah, well, do a sit-up. Fuck mother. Stand by.
Now.
Hi, Tom Martino here. You know, going into the new year, there are things I never want to hear again in my life. Ever. One is every day on the Today Show or other shows, I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift. I don't really care. I mean, she's a wonderful woman. She's got a great concert, very talented. I don't want to hear about her life. I don't care about her life. Can we agree on that one?
She outsold the Beatles.
Well, actually, she didn't. But let's talk about
dollars.
this. Well, yeah, of course. Now, let's
And the
talk about
monkeys.
this. Let's talk about this. I don't want to hear about body shaming or fat shaming anymore. I don't want to hear about people boo-hooing about it. Okay? Now, I think you should never be mean to people. I totally agree. You shouldn't be mean. There's no reason to be mean. But when you say to somebody, hey, bro, that's not good for your blood pressure. You know, you're drinking coffee, you got high. Am I blood pressure shaming him? I'm not, am I? Or hey, you know, that UVA tanning or UVB or whatever the hell it is, the one that's really, really, really bad. You're doing it every other day. It's not healthy for you. Am I suntan shaming them? I'm not. Hey, that's not good for your eyes, man. I'm eye shaming you. You're fat. I'm not body shaming you. It's obesity. It's bad. There is not one study in the entire universe that's it's okay. Now, some
How about
obesity.
just not sticking your nose in other people's business?
Some obesity. You're right. But if you know someone, hey, by the way, some obesity, people can't really help. It is metabolic and maybe some different issues. Most obesity is not. Most is not. So I don't think the shaming. Why have we come to a point in America where we can't even? Everything is wrong.
Because of the left. That's very easy.
Everything is wrong.
It's the woke. It's the DEI. It's all that BS.
303-713-TALK. 713-8255. All right, let's go back to the phones. And I'm going to talk to, okay, now who do we have? Garrett. Good. We have Garrett at 888heating.com. Love Garrett. Hey, Garrett. How you doing, man?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Mark. How you guys doing today?
Good. Hey, we had, and again, I don't control pricing. I think fair prices, good prices, if it's even expensive at times. Look, I don't care about pricing so much. I just want to give this guy a gauge. It was another company unrelated to you guys, and he had a couple things done. A pressure switch, which I don't know what that is, but it's a pressure switch that regulates when to turn on and off the exhaust air fan inducer.
Yeah, that's just a vacuum switch.
Okay, so he had the vacuum switch changed, and he had the exhaust air fan inducer, that little fan, not the big blower motor, but okay, he had them replaced.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what would be now? I don't want to go. I just want to find out that price. By the way, as it turned out, the supply house or no, excuse me, another vendor told him there was nothing wrong with that motor at all. But that's neither here nor there. Not for you. But can you explain what would it cost around in the market? I'm not talking about you necessarily today, but in your knowledge, what is a fair price or a normal price for that?
Well, there's a lot of factors into that. There's high efficiency, standard efficiency, modulating motors all the way down to a single stage motor. So there's a lot of
wait. So that would change. That would change the inducer. I mean that fan.
Yeah, that would change price substantially.
Okay, I want to ask Gary. Let's ask Gary. Gary, what kind of furnace? What kind of furnace are we talking about?
The furnace they're talking about is a Goodman, I guess.
And is it a high efficiency or regular? Do you know?
No.
How old
is it? Regular.
It's about 8 years old.
10 years old.
10?
8 or 10, yeah.
Okay. Do you know if it's a high efficiency furnace or a standard efficiency?
No, it's not a high efficiency one.
Just regular.
Efficiency. Just a regular, not a high efficiency?
Right. Yeah, no, just a regular one.
Okay. Yeah, and company pricing is all over the place, and it really just depends on. It really does depend on the company.
Yeah.
But what you have paid for that down in the Colorado Springs market may be fair, but I would say that our pricing is definitely for a standard swap out. If you're talking very standard, that ours is definitely lower than that.
Okay, in the Denver market, what would you think an average price for that vacuum switch
average,
and fan?
I would say vacuum switches, fans, and if they're doing all the checks and balances to make sure the system's safe after that, instead of just doing it being a part swapper, you always want to give a good service with it. You don't want to take your car to a mechanic and have them change a tire and not tell you if the brakes are bad, right? So, if you had the whole service done, I would say average fair pricing, which I hate to do because it's such a big gauge, but $1,500 or so.
Okay. And see, and thank you, Gary. I knew you would be straight with us in general, and he's a great guy. And of course, don't forget they do that deep clean for $45, and they have the best prices on high efficiency units. By the way, everyone should go high efficiency these days. Now, Gary, here's the thing. Not only were you charged double of what the Denver market is, not that that's against the law, but you didn't even need the motor. So we're going to give this, I was going to give it to Deputy Doc, but as he aptly pointed out, Deputy Bo used to be in this business. We're going to give it to Bo to work on with this company.
Okay.
All right? So
if anything I can do, I'll supply it.
You'll be hearing from him. Deputy Bo. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, will tell you what that house can sell for. Without going through a whole listing, no obligation, you're wondering, what the hell's going on? Is my house going to sell for a lot? Am I going to make a lot of money, a little money? He'll just do it all. A complete analysis, free of charge, complimentary. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, one of the finest people I know. 303-920-1622.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Yeah, if you're driving into downtown along I-25 northbound, we've got a stall up near 6th Avenue. It's in the right lane. It's actually backed up to Broadway. Pretty heavy stop and go there. Southbound I-25 coming into downtown is a little sluggish. We are seeing some jamming on Pena coming out of the airport. This is going to be just past 56. Opens up from there. There may be a problem on the highway. We'll check on that. And it looks like 270 is running just a little slow for you. We're still seeing delays down on Santa Fe out of Highlands Ranch, northbound from Town Center up to C470. That's road work. That's your drive.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, the late great historian Stephen Ambrose tells the story of the year 1941. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Well, that name says it all about outside, but what you didn't know, or maybe didn't know, he also does interior remodeling. And you know what? You can trust Genesis. I've known him for years and years and years. Now, they're doing 2-for-1 door swap outs. Get rid of that old ugly hollow core door, and he's putting in genuine solid wood doors for you. GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 2-for-1 swap. He's also doing railings, balusters and railings, changing them from wood to metal. Any part of those you want, Genesis TotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. Now, retirement. God willing, we're all facing retirement. And if you want someone to help you plan for retirement, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, I know these gentlemen. I really do. They're good people, and they're transparent. They'll tell you what they do, how they do it, and why you need them and what they can save you. It's really that easy. Have a conversation with them. If you have a business you're passing on, maybe you want to talk about legacy planning, maybe long-term care, maybe you want to convert some of your nest egg into income, or you want to build a nest egg. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, 970-663-3211, 970-663-3211. 3211. You can call him or go to rpcenter.com. And as I said, ask him any question you want. Retirement Planning Center, rpcenter.com.
Very nice.
I know you think you probably think I'm sick right now because I've been taking breaks within 10 minutes of when they're supposed to be
They
taking.
say people kind of get their shit together right before they die. So I was wondering.
Oh,
that was
wonderful.
Yeah.
So next Friday is our last show for 2 weeks, right?
Yep, I'm getting the best ofs ready right now.
Yeah. When is it next Friday? A week from
Except
today?
John Fuller's in 2 of the days.
Oh, is that what do you mean? What?
He's in the 2nd and 3rd.
As host?
Yep.
Oh, is there anybody going to be here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a full house.
Okay, good. We have deputies helping out. Okay. And Mark, I'll talk to you off the air about next week.
Did you want to talk to Tom in the gang?
Are you out of town the whole week?
I do not know what the hell's going on yet.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
I'll get you over to Kelly. She just ran off to get a water. Hang on. She'll be right back.
So apparently, Fuller's going to be here on the 26th and 27th.
26th and 27th?
Yeah.
Tell Mark that. Mark said the 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, maybe. Oh, 2nd and 3rd. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So I'm going to come in and try and give him a little help.
Either or.
So I'm going to come in and give him a little help.
Good, of course.
So
that's wonderful.
that'll be my audition for hosting the show. No one else is around.
I'd listen to Doc do 4 hours of describing the craziest things he's seen in an examination room. This one time I thought the thing looked like a deep sea creature.
Who keeps reposting my stuff here? This is stupid, morons. I think Trump ought to name Rachel Maddow as his press secretary.
Wow.
Could you imagine that?
No, not even.
Or Rosie O'Donnell.
You know what? Their brains would just explode if they had to actually speak what Trump thinks.
Well, they wouldn't have to. That's the thing. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to admit this, but I'm going to admit it, and fuck all of you. But I adjusted the camera because when I looked at YouTube, my head was cut off. But the reason it was cut off is I was scrolled up on the page. Do you know what I'm saying? I was scrolled up, and when I scrolled...
You didn't have the whole picture.
Oh, shit. Sometimes I don't understand myself.
Kevin, he is the perfect customer states guy.
Why can't 31 see our posts? Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Back to the phones. And Mike wants to talk about a cracked windshield. Mike, what's happening, man? Oh, there's me. Hold on. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. There it's okay. That's the button. Go ahead, Mike. I could explain. I could explain it to everyone, but I'm not going. Go ahead, Mike. What's happening, man?
Well, we rented a little minivan in order to take some house guests around, show them the state a little bit. And on the way back from the trip, we saw we had a crack in the windshield.
Damn.
We had paid for the rental with a credit card, which has the collision damage waiver, and
in other words, they will pay up to the collision for up to the deductible for you on the rental, right? What card do you have? Capital One or what? Which one?
It's a Fidelity Visa card,
and it does have rental car coverage, is what you're saying?
It does,
okay.
But it's not as the primary coverage since we have our own automobile policy.
Right.
The card will pay anything that the automobile policy doesn't cover.
I don't even understand that part of it because
that
I
sounds
thought
like that makes no sense.
Yeah, none at all. Because if you have an automobile policy, If you do the waiver, you shouldn't have you anyway. It makes no sense. Keep going with your story.
Okay. Well, I just need your advice
Yes.
because we don't need to return the thing until Saturday, and I haven't contacted either the rental car company or my automobile insurance company. Now, what would be your advice? Should I go ahead and call?
What was the name of that credit card? I want to hear that again.
Well, it's the Fidelity, which is that investment company, Fidelity.
Yeah. Fidelity Visa. What is it?
It's a Visa card. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now listen, I need to know if you have glass coverage on your car, your primary insurance.
Yes, we have a full glass coverage on our truck. Yes.
Okay, and that's the one that you. Okay, so that should cover you on the rental. Is the answer?
I would think so.
Well, it does.
Yeah.
If you have that coverage, it'll cover you. I can get Compass on, but they'll tell us the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you call your insurance company, and here's what they usually want to do, because I went through the same exact thing. Same exact thing. A rental, I have 0 deductible glass coverage. Brian Burns at Compass Insurance Group, where you call for your insurance checkup, 303-996-9000. I called him and I said, Brian, what do I do? He says, well, with another person's car, it's different than you going to get it done. When you have a rental car, you have them get it fixed and then send you the bill and your insurance pays it.
He's got that coverage on that credit card, man. So just call. I got the 800 number here. Call up to credit card claims, and they're going to cover it. I mean, if you want to go through your glass coverage, fine.
Yeah. I want to ask you something, though, Mark. When you have both, can the credit card say, we only back you up beyond your own insurance? Or in other words, can you choose which one you want to use?
Yeah, of course. In this circumstance, because he used that credit card, he's covered up to $75,000 for damage to the vehicle and theft. It doesn't have anything to do with liability, of course.
Okay. So maybe you do that, man.
Yeah, that whole set. Somehow you read something incorrectly. It's not a secondary coverage. It's primary when it comes to damage to the vehicle.
Hey, Mark, would his premiums go up if he just makes a windshield claim?
Of course not. No,
they shouldn't.
No.
They shouldn't. But
those are not chargeable.
But hold on. Like Safeco, who I have, it's only a certain amount of windshields per year, so it could affect him down the road if one of his own cars needs one.
You have a certain number of windshields a year, right?
I guarantee you do too, Tom.
Well, I never.
So he's just better off calling up Visa.
Well, yeah, because that's what the card's for. But you reserved and paid for it with that Visa, right?
I did.
Yeah, so you're covered with them, man. Here's the number. It's 1-800-546-9806. 800-546-9806. And that's where you make a claim for the Fidelity Visa coverage.
Okay, that's not what my literature says, but you may be seeing something new.
What does your literature say?
Well, I don't want to waste your time, but
in general, what does it say?
It says that the coverage that the card provides, if I have my own insurance, then the card is only secondary to cover something like the...
If you buy... I see what he's saying. That's only if you buy the rental car's coverage of insurance, which you didn't, right?
No, he didn't. He took the waiver.
Yeah, just call that number. They'll handle it, bro.
Thank you, Mark. And thank you for calling. Let us know, Mike, if you need anything else on Tom Martino. Hey, we got Uncle Kevin here. We're taking car calls and all of your problems, questions, and complaints coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
It's funny. Some days we get all car calls.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're offline, and we can talk now. To my YouTube morons and to Marky. Hey, will Mark come? Oh, no, he only comes over the headphones. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm getting
I like when you go to answer a call and don't hit the button.
Shut up.
Hey, I am shocked that he does as well as he does going back and forth.
It really is shocking.
Oh, well, Mark, it gets
you
confusing.
You have next event, you have the mic button, you have the phone. I really am impressed.
Then I got to scratch every now and then. I mean, it's all kinds of multitasking.
It's fine. You're fine.
Hey, pizza.
I know. I'm ordering it. You can't do 15 things at once, dude.
Well, Tom can. Why can't you? Tom just told us he can do 15 things at once.
Because I have to assign this case.
Use this new card, this referral list card.
Kevin already gave me his.
All right.
Now, tell me if you think this is petty, but I'll tell you later.
Sure. Wow.
I'll tell you later.
The National Spelling Bee has confirmed that you can spell woman W-O-M-Y-N.
It's so stupid. That's you know why? Because they don't want men.
Way over Christmas.
There are some women that like men in them.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
I'm potted down, right?
Not yet. Just, I want to hear the start of the call. Then once we get to the meat of Kevin's financial information, I'll pot you down.
My kids, my son and my daughter-in-law, on Thanksgiving, they always spend it with my ex-wife.
I think Kevin's ribs are one step above.
She has a big Catholic family.
TGI Fridays.
Well, I have the rest of the year.
I won't my baby back, baby back, baby back.
This year I went to...
That's Chili's.
I went to Florida
I'm
with
sorry,
them for
Chili's.
Thanksgiving.
Damn it.
Which is really nice. I told you, my buddy who lives down there, we both turned 80 this year. He's 2 years. His birthday is 2 weeks after mine.
You know, Biden, could you imagine if he had tried to do a second term?
Oh, no.
He can hardly get through this one.
He probably would have done better than Kamala.
Well,
I remember this guy I worked for said, hey, Biden will never drop out. It'll never happen.
Think so?
What's that? What's it?
I said, who do you think is calling the shots for the past 2 months and the next 3 weeks?
Jill Biden. Jill.
I think it's more what he said.
What did he say?
Obama.
Oh.
No, I don't think he likes Obama at all.
I think Dan Kaplis, I agree with, and Dan thinks that Biden is secretly happy that she got her ass kicked.
Oh, I'm sure.
I believe that.
A lot of people think that.
Who wouldn't be? They out you.
So there was a clip on YouTube. Somebody asked her point blank, what do you think you can do to reduce prices? And she went into this whole thing about, well, I grew up in a neighborhood. She never answered. It was all about, I grew up in a neighborhood, we were poor, blah, blah, blah. Nothing to do with the question whatsoever.
No, she's not good on it.
Hey, Mark, do you know why one of our 31 can't see any of the chat?
Oh, case 13's always saying that. I have no idea. Oh. I think she's 13 years old, living in her parents' basement. I don't know what's going on there. She's always saying that, but I think she sees it. I think she's doing it to.
Do you want to put your camera up? I can grab it.
No, it's not up. I just got out of the steam shower, man.
We definitely don't want to see that.
It's really nice, man. It's big.
Well, yeah, when you're fresh out of the shower, that's the time to be on camera. We all know that.
That steam shower, Shannon, we can all get in there together.
I use Plus right now I'm using my camera for my OnlyFans station.
How's the shrinkage going, Mark?
It's only
no shrinkage.
Is it OnlyFans or fans?
I'm the opposite.
Is it OnlyFans or fans only? What is it?
Or I'm sorry. I joined the cheap.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
$23 million.
I belong to fans only.
Could you believe that, Tom?
What's that?
One woman
one of the girls on OnlyFans claims she made $23 million.
She showed the payout.
How can you pay a monthly fee just to go on and stare at somebody?
Her entire day. Well, let me explain.
There's
her
so much
entire
free
day
stuff out there,
is
right?
context.
Well, you get tipped. People tip you to do stuff.
And her deal is she's a virgin.
Am I wrong, or is there a million places you can see things without paying?
Not a virgin that does things that she does.
Good morning. Thanks for calling the Troubleshooter Show.
What does she do for $23 million?
Whatever
She's
you want.
a virgin that has just content all day long.
Wait a minute.
I saw her on Fox. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Is this a young girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a virgin saving herself,
and
but
her parents let her do it?
No. She's over 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 20.
If my kid makes $32 million, they can do what they want.
You got the whole.
Yeah.
Where was
and
she
this
born,
is what
Doc?
color her hair is for real.
What's her birthday?
Yeah.
I get these updates on TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah, right.
Tom, it says here that case 3-1 says you blocked her.
I never. Why would I?
It's case 13.
They say
Read
3-1
it.
here.
It says
Case
31. Mark.
31.
Wait, let me ask you this: how do we even know? How are we talking to this person, Kate?
She's okay, guys. I'll say it again. She's messing with you.
Okay. There's no Mark. I don't even know how to. I think I know how to see blocked, maybe, but I'm not sure.
And if you look at it, it's case 13.
There's no N. It's case 31.
Dude, you misspell your name. How can we can't trust you?
That's that
Obviously
Dixon thing he
dyslexic.
keeps kicking up, Mark.
Dyslexic.
Here, let me look real close here. Let's see here. Here's
Kevin,
case
what
13.
does it say? 31, right?
It says 30-O-N-E.
Right,
It's case
31.
No, it's read it. THIRTEE. The O is silent. N. Case 13.
The O and the E are silent.
It's 31.
It's okay, Doc. I can't spell. Okay. 31 would be spelled with a Y.
Why don't all of you be someone like
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. Mark's on remote, and then we have Deputy Doc here. We have Uncle Kevin Sheridan, Auto Tech. Uncle Kevin, somebody wants to know how often do they have to do their flushing of a coolant system?
Typically every 2 years.
Okay.
Depending on usage and everything, but yeah, 2 years is standard.
Okay. 2 years is standard for that. And what about when just maintaining, there's nothing else to do. You just keep the level, right? And,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
they're good long life antifreezes, but yeah, 2 years, 3 years at the most.
all right. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Back to the phones. Daryl has a question on a loan for his property or for a property. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? Oh, okay. Shut up, Mark. I'm going to Daryl, what's happening?
Hey, how's Tom doing today?
I'm doing better than Joe Biden. What's going on with you, bro?
Well, that's okay.
What's happening?
Okay, so I think it's called a bridge loan, but
it's
so
a bridge loan is when you own a home you're selling and you're buying a new one and you need something in between.
Yeah, so kind of like that. So I got a piece of property that's under contract that closes in March.
Now, when you say a piece of property, you're talking about land?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what I'm looking for is to get a loan against the property before it closes and then pay it off at closing.
Wait. Why do you need it before closing? Usually you pay at closing.
No. I just need some money between now and closing.
I understand that. I'm just asking, not to be nosy, but for a reason. What do you need the money for before closing?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It just for business expenses.
Okay. It has nothing to do with the land.
No, and the land is free and clear.
Okay. Then why did you even mention it? In other words, I was just confused. What you need is a loan, period.
Yeah, like a line of credit. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the land. You just need a loan.
Well, but the reason why I brought the land up is because that would be, I mean, I don't, you know, obviously that would be the collateral, right?
Not if you don't own it. It would only be collateral when you own it.
Well, I own it.
You said you close in March. Wait. Are you buying or selling this property?
Selling.
Now I understand. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. Now I understand.
Right.
So you're selling.
Right.
I just assume you were buying it. So you are selling your land. You have a contract on it, and you will get paid in March, and you need something to hold you over. I get it. Now, how sure is that closing?
What do you mean?
Well, how sure is the closing? If I wanted to loan you money,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like anything, right? It's not 100% to the closing table.
All right.
But,
and what are the terms when you close it? You're going to get cash?
Cash. Yeah.
And how much are you selling it for?
$10 million.
What? For $10 million? What the hell kind of land do you have?
Well, you know what land is, Tom.
Well, I do, but to be $10 million, I'm just curious. What and where is it?
You've been there and done it.
Where?
You've been there. You've been there. You've done it.
Yes, I have. Both the good and the bad and the ugly. But I want to ask you seriously, where is it? No fooling around. Where is it?
Weld County. It's in Weld County.
Weld County. I don't think all of Weld County's worth $10 million, but okay. What kind of?
I was waiting for that.
Is it commercial? Is it residential? What is it?
Residential.
How much? How many acres?
270.
Okay, and who's buying it?
Developer.
Okay, all right. And so, did you get any earnest money? I'm trying. Here's why I'm asking, because the strength of that is going to be the strength of you getting a loan. But you're saying that even if you don't close, the land is your collateral. So would you allow someone right now then to put a first deed of trust on that land?
Well, that's probably what it's going to take, right?
I think it's going to take it, yeah. But when you said line of credit and stuff, I thought you were talking unsecured. But okay, so you have 270 acres, and you truly so 270 acres. And what I want to know is this: how much do you have to borrow?
$1 million.
So with now that to me sounds like a no-brainer, because first of all, I doubt. Well, I don't know. In Weld County, if it was prime residential land, you're talking a value of $37,000 per lot. I'm not sure, or per acre. I'm not sure it's worth that. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know anything about Weld County. But with the other thing you're talking makes more sense. You're looking for $1 million. Hold on, divided by 270. So let's see. So you're asking for $3,700 an acre for a loan, and I don't know. Let's put it out there, man. Somebody
10% origination fee.
What I wanted, yeah. And so and then like I said, I've never done this before, but basically, then when at closing,
look,
then
I invest in all kinds of things, including loans. And what Mark was talking about when he said 10% origination fee might be a little high, but people are going to want points up front.
It's not high right now. There's no way for something like that.
And for land and points, they're going to want at least, I think, 60. They won't go beyond 60% loan to value. So do you have an appraisal of the 270?
I don't have an appraisal, no, but I'm assuming the developer did, or he wouldn't have offered that.
Well, that's not true at all, but sometimes they do it because they have a hunch. I want to ask you something. Do you have adjacent property?
Yes.
Okay. And I mean adjacent property you don't own.
There's adjacent property I don't own, and there's adjacent property that I do own.
Now, the adjacent, how did you acquire all this land, out of curiosity? Were you a farmer or what?
Yes.
Okay, and you're selling the farm?
One of them.
Okay, and then you know that.
I think the bottom line, though, is if the collateral's there, whether it's his home residence, the land, all combined,
it's going to work.
If it's there, I mean, it's a 10% deal.
10% interest, you're saying?
No, I'm saying a 10% origination and then, close in 90 days or else.
10% origination. So you're saying 100,000?
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure. I'm not disputing it. I'm saying I'm not sure. Because
let's get Brent Ivinson or someone on.
Okay, but he doesn't know private loans, I don't think, but we can ask him. You're right. And here's the thing, Daryl. I have literally done private loans. In fact, Mark and I have done private loans. So, Mark, we didn't charge 10%, did we?
I think in a case like this, once again, the biggest thing is if the collateral is there. For me to loan that money to him, how long would you seriously need it, man? When is it a guaranteed payback?
But to ask, you can't ask for a 90-day balloon.
I mean, my note would be called in whatever time, Tom. I mean, I'm not going to sit on it for 10 years.
No, but if you get 10 points, and you get a decent interest rate, it would behoove you to have it out there for a year.
How long would it come back?
Into March.
So, I mean, he's talking 4 or 5 months. So I would stick with what I said. It would be called due at that point. And, you know, if something happens and we talk, that's fine. But the paperwork's not going to say that. But I would want 10% origination, and I wouldn't charge you any interest for the 5 months. I would get the origination.
That's different. That's a whole different ball game. That's way fairer. So you're talking about basically a flat fee loan for 3 months.
Why can't he use his other farmers' collateral for the loan?
5 months, I'm sorry.
Tom?
Yeah, but that's, I mean, now you're talking 10%, right? I mean, you're talking 10%.
But Daryl, why can't you use your other farm as collateral for the loan?
Do you have the other farmland paid?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why can't that be collateral?
Well, hold on. And you have a house.
I'm telling you, Brent can give us info on this. Yeah. I know he doesn't do this kind of stuff through Ideal, but he does do this stuff.
We'll get him on, Mark. I also have a ton of investors that invest with me, and that's why I'm asking this question. I mean, I have all kinds of investors.
Oh, how about, another good one might be Barry.
I'm not sure, actually. He doesn't. I don't know if he does private stuff like this. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask Brent Ivinson. Let's get him on from Ideal Home
I'm just
Loans.
Curious what other people, not whether they'll do it or not, but what is the going rate for something like this?
That's right. Daryl, if you truly have value, there's going to be no problem getting that money.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking 10%. I guess that's what really I was fishing for more than anything.
Well, I don't know if it's 10%, Daryl. I don't know what it's going to cost you. The bottom line is I cannot tell you what an investor will expect for $1 million for what really turns out to be a 6-month loan. You're looking for a 6-month loan of $1 million. Isn't that it in a nutshell?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
So let's figure it out. Hold on. We'll ask some people who do loans. I'll ask my finance people at Wave 8 Wealth Management. I'll ask them because we have funds that do stuff like that, but certainly not high risk. And land is high risk for a few reasons. Because while there is value there, it also has to be purchased by someone who can extract the value and then some. In other words, they're not plentiful buyers. The buyers have to be able to take the land, subdivide the land, sell the land. So that's why I'd be interested to know about your developer and how solid has that developer who's buying your land. Have they done similar ventures?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're not a fool. It sounds like you know what you're doing. So hold on, and we'll talk about that coming up. And if anyone has any ideas, give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for your garage door needs, oneclearchoicedoors.com, a great company for all of your garage door needs. That's the opener or any part of the door, and all of their prices are on the website, oneclearchoicedoors.com.
Dunray Kitchens, Baths, finished basements, windows, and doors. Ready for holiday savings? Call now and save 12% or enjoy great financing specials on all services for select install dates. 800-362-8370 or drhi.com. Happy holidays.
I want to talk to Joe Ciano right now. and talk about the guaranteed pension account that he offers. And Joe, one of the things you really stress is guarantees and security and income. So not one of the things, I guess three of the things are the guarantees and the income and the growth. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I think this account, Tom, is ideal for people that want to participate in market gains without the danger of losing their money when the market goes down. It's a beautiful product for people that want to have growth, but they want to have protection at the same time. This account is an annuity that follows the stock indexes. When they go up, the client will get a percentage of that growth, but when they go down, like it normally happens, they stay level. They don't lose a single penny. And that's what people really need today. They want to have security, they want to have growth, but they also want to have protection that they're not going to lose their money.
Joe, you really are the expert in this stuff, and I have a question for you, because you did mention when the market goes up, and whatever they gain, they'll never lose. And then if they stay there and they can only ratchet up. But you mentioned something, and you said they get a percentage of that. So what is the participation they get when they have an annuity?
It depends on the annuity company. It depends on the annuity products. We have some participations, that are actually 120%. So they'll get not only the gain of the market, but an additional bonus on top of that.
Really?
Yeah. Right. So, but there's only a few indexes like that, Tom. The ones that we promote, they normally have, like for example, the S&P 500. Okay.
Yes.
They have a cap of maybe 6%.
Yes.
So if the S&P grows by 10%, the clients are not going to get 10%. They're going to get 6%.
But it's with no risk.
No risk. So this is the best of both worlds for people that want to still play on the market, but at the same time have the security and the peace of mind that they're not going to lose a single penny. And this is an ideal product for people to transfer their 401ks, IRAs, or any other retirement asset into it to diversify their portfolio.
Diversification and security and income. Thank you, Joe. Joe Chiano. You can find him at mymoneymyway.com, mymoneymyway.com, 303-779-6600. That's 779-6600.
Okay. And what's wrong with it, like, generally?
There we go.
I was trying to tell everybody it is case 13, and finally, 17, 36.
What do you think this guy needs $1 million?
36, 46, 56, 66.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
69% of the people agree with
It's always good to ask about.
Very nice, Mark.
Okay, hang on for me.
People say, what do you
What's
have?
that?
I give you a loan as
Well
security.
done, Mark.
Because use of funds. What if it was
How do
to
you
buy
figure
drugs?
It says,
or what if it was to get a gambling debt paid off?
says
Then you
no,
know
they
there's a
don't.
problem.
75%.
It's true. Use of funds is important.
Yep, I knew it too.
Well, I was worried about Tom. He was breaking on time. I thought maybe he was sick, but now he's breaking late and going along with Joe, so he's back to normal.
He's back to normal. Is he hitting the buttons when he picks up now, though?
Shut up!
Not yet.
Up, top
I'm
secret.
starting my lawsuit soon.
Up, top secret just messed up.
Uh-oh, what? Make fun of me? I'm going to take them off. They're done.
Sir, I put him in timeout. He's gone.
No, was it really bad, or was it?
No.
Usually you don't need a timeout.
It was probably the worst thing I have seen on YouTube.
Really?
What did he say about
He
it?
disagreed with Mark.
You've probably seen a.
That's all it was.
Oh.
You've probably seen
I
a
thought
Taylor
it was
Swift
me.
video.
No.
You can disagree with Mark all you want.
Top secret generally says really bad stuff about you.
Oh.
How can you disagree with Mark? He's perfect.
Thank you, Doc.
Geez, Doc is such a suck up.
Yep, look at that. 33 yes, 19, I agree with Mark. I agree it's case 1312. So that's 30 plus 29. That's 69%. Yay.
You're outvoted 3-1, Mark. It's 75 to 25.
No, they always vote for him, no matter what he says.
No, this is against him.
It's against him.
No, this is definitely
tastes
for
good,
me.
and they'd all say, yeah, it does.
Do you
Mark.
agree with case 13? No, 75%.
You're wrong, Mark. It's 3-1 against you.
You're absolutely wrong. Do you agree with this statement? Is it case 13 if you remove the O and the E? Yes, 33%. I agree with Mark, 20%. I agree it is case 13, 11%.
So you stack the poll in your favor?
I would never do that. I believe in fair polls.
Heads I
and
win.
I know our YouTubers can never be
Worst thing
swayed.
happened in my
Heads I
airplane
win,
engine.
tails you lose.
So I have a little Rotex engine. Son of a bitch generates over 100 horsepower. It's this big.
Wow.
Anyway,
All right.
used.
Here we go.
Denver's Talk Station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's keep going here. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans, one of our experts. He is an expert in the loan industry, and even though they don't do private loans, they know a lot of people, and I bet you they've participated before in the past with some things. Who knows? Brent, thanks for being here. So
you bet, absolutely.
I know you probably get calls from people who need a private loan here and there, and you've probably hooked them up with an investor, maybe not, but I know that you have to know about them. And what we want to know is this. We got a guy that owns a lot of property, a lot of farmland in Weld County, and he says he has a contract with a developer for 270 acres for $10 million. Now, again, I don't know the strength of the contract or the buyer or anything. Daryl says he does know that the buyer has done this before, has developed. So let's assume it's a decent contract. Let's just assume that for argument's sake. And he wants a bridge loan until closing. Closing's 5 months, so let's call it a 6-month loan of not the 10 million, but of 1 million of it. So if he wanted to take 270 acres and he wanted to do a $1 million loan for 6 months, what do you think a lender, if truly it appraised and all of that, what loan to value do you think on a private loan on vacant land would a lender be comfortable, a private lender be comfortable with?
You know, we don't see many of them on just land. Normally when we're dealing in that space, there's a dwelling attached to it. They're going to appraise the dwelling, and they'll get pretty aggressive on the loan to value, when we're dealing with the dwelling. So my guess would be if you're only looking at 10% of the appraised value or, the deal, let's call it, my guess would be you could go to a private investor and probably get that done. You might even be able to go to a local bank up there that would have an appetite for that as well.
That is a good question. Daryl, have you tried a bank?
Well, I haven't even. It was just something that I'm just starting to explore.
No, I know. You're just exploring this. Right. Now, Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl,
Yeah, right.
What about this? What about this? Brent asked something, and that is 1/10 of the deal, or it's 10% of the deal, and all of that, and you need it for about 6 months, and so that all sounds and looks good, where a lender shouldn't have a problem. But I'm asking for loan to value, Brent. Would you think they would still want 50% or 60% loan to value, no more, or would they go 80 or 90%?
No, yeah, we've had numerous deals where, again, this is on just a home, not a working farm, not a bunch of acreage, where they'll go to 85 and 90% on these deals. And again, the way to think about this stuff, Tom, is these private equity guys, they want their money out for a year and then they want it back. So they're going to charge you a fairly hefty interest rate for that year to use that money, and then there is a balloon at the end of that year that's got to get paid back.
Right.
So
What do you think the points would be? Let's just talk points. What do you think they would be, or would it be just interest?
No, it would be interest and points. And it varies from deal to deal. We've got a handful of guys that we use, and it all depends on what their appetite is for the type of property.
Brent, I threw out there. Tell me what you think of this, Brent. I threw out there 10% origination, 6-month deal, no interest.
Yeah, they're going to charge. They're not going to charge you 10% origination. They'll probably charge you 3%, maybe 4%, but then they're going to want an interest kicker on top of that.
That's right.
While the money's out as well.
Yeah. So what would that interest be? Do you think, just from what you're hearing?
Typically 10 to 11%.
Okay.
So I mean, my deal's better.
Yeah, that would be.
Right. I agree. Your deal is better.
But Brent, I also said this: with vacant land, you have to have a special buyer. If you want to get $1 million back on 270 acres, even though it's worth way more, it's only worth way more after development. I mean, not after development, but if you have the capacity to develop, and that's a rare buyer. And really, it's not as locked as you might think it is. But anyway, I appreciate your time. That's Brent Ivinson, idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000. So back to you, Daryl.
Yeah. So does so here's my question.
Yes.
Not knowing anything. So does the contract mean anything to the lender?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It means that they're going to be paid back if it's a solid contract. It absolutely does. Now, did you say you had earnest money on that contract?
Yes, I did. I had non-refundable earnest money up front that has already went in and out of escrow, and it was non-refundable.
And how much was that? I just want to know. That'll tell us how serious the buyer is.
$500,000. Man,
Daryl, this sounds like a solid deal to me. It does. If you have somebody who put up $500,000 that was yours to keep, they're going to close. They're going to close.
Well, that's the reason why I did it, Tom. Because I said I'm not gonna put this thing out because it's a year. That it started out. That's what it was. From start to finish is a year. And I said I'm not gonna do this without hard money that I know that you're serious.
Daryl, you're a smart man. Here, I want to ask something else that'll tell you their seriousness to close. Because I have walked away from hard money before because I did some due diligence and it was the wiser move than to move forward. Now, I didn't put up $500,000, but I've walked away from $200,000 before on a big project because of the due diligence. So my next question is this: what due diligence did they conduct?
Well, they've done quite a bit already.
Have they been to the county? Have they been to the county with a PUD?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, this is in the city limits.
Oh, in Greeley? In Greeley. Okay.
So they've already went to they've already went through planning and zoning, and they're in the process of getting.
Leave your number with Kachina. This is a real deal, in my opinion. I mean, just what I'm hearing. I'll look into it. Okay, Daryl. I'll look into it. I would.
All right.
I
appreciate it.
I would also advise this, and listen carefully. I think you should try first conventional means. It'll be cheaper for you. Try that first.
Yeah, well, like I said, if Mark's 10%, he'd have to come work on the farm for free for 6 months.
Yeah. No. You know what? When you think about what he was saying, he's talking about $100,000. Okay, you can just break that down pretty easily. $100,000 divided by 6, right? And that's what you're talking about is $16,000, almost $17,000 a month. Okay, so you have to just amortize that, see what it is. That is a little high.
And I hate to tell it to both of you, I don't think it's high right now.
Okay, well, did you do the?
That's what I didn't know.
Hold on. No. Did you do the percentage on it? I haven't done the percentage yet. If you take $1 million and you take $16,000 a month amortized,
it'd be 20%.
Yeah, but you're only talking 6 months, right?
Yeah, that's why it would be 20%.
Anyway, here's the deal. I think that's highway robbery, in my opinion, Daryl, if you're asking.
Well, that's the reason why I said he's going to have
we sound like the Shark Tank now, where Mark and I are arguing over the deal. I'll give you this, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you a back rub. Hey, Daryl, listen, man. Seriously, leave your information, and but I implore you to explore local conventional banks, okay? I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming right up on the Troubleshooter Show.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Yeah, we're not doing too badly so far. It looks like I-25, though, up north is kind of jamming up a bit, making your way from 104th up past 120th Avenue, checking on a possible problem, but it is fairly sluggish there. Looks a little unusual. Coming out of the airport on Pena, heavy from Tower back towards I-70, along with 270 heading west up through Vasquez. I-25 in and out of downtown. Between I-70 and Broadway, both directions, just a little sluggish. No major difficulties right now. That's a look at your drive.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of the man who wrote The Giving Tree, Shel Silverstein. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
K&H Home Solutions. You know, there's a reason they call it that, because they have window, siding, doors, and more. K&H has what you're looking for. I love the Alpine window. Locally built in Colorado for Colorado under these conditions, and it stands up, and they are the exclusive dealer. K&H Home Solutions, I've known every owner. There's been only three over 65 years, and I've known all three owners, and it's a company that I'm proud to have on my referralist.com and also on the show. K&H Home Solutions started out as K&H Windows. The website, khwindows.com, 303-421-7100.
William is one.
All right.
Now, let's talk about this deal. Okay. So, Mark.
He should be there. Mark.
Oh, he might be walking. Mark and I have done $1 million loan before.
Leave,
We've gone
I thought he had to leave.
He was talking about it, but he would have said bye.
But what we had was a no-lose deal. I mean, it was obscene money. So anyway, what happened was I've been using automobile fuel in my Rotex, so that's what it runs great. 91 octane automobile Shell. One day I run out of auto fuel in the hangar. I thought, you know what, I'm not running to fill up that big tank, because I fill up 35 at a time. So I said, well, one time I'm going to fill up with av fuel. That's 100 octane. They call it low lead. But it's leaded. It's not unleaded, it's low lead. Mm-hmm. And my carburetor stuck. The floats, the fucking needle valves, it gummed up the whole. Now, there's two schools of thought. The avgas has lead where the other one didn't. Maybe it's lead that did it. But one guy says, come on, one-time use. And I swear to God, I only ran it on the shit for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I parked it.
No.
The other one is this. The other theory is that it's the auto fuel that's been varnishing up, and then the av fuel loosened it.
Dissolved it.
I don't know which it is. But I had to have both carbs rebuilt. Both of them. Completely rebuilt.
Yeah, I don't even know. Because the 91... Well,
Shell 91 unleaded is clean fuel. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, because you're going to get more on the exhaust end of it than you will just from the tank. I mean, if it's a burn problem or stuff, it's not going to come up the
And
carburetor.
one of the reasons...
He's going to think I'm...
We don't know why.
Because they're all high detergent. Yeah.
So, but it was sitting in the hangar after I filled it with avgas for about 3 weeks before I checked it again. And the reason I checked it again, wanted to start it, it was dripping out of the intake air box. Fuel was going past the carburetor into the air box. slowly dripping, and then I have a drain line in the airbox. So I thought, why is fuel dripping out of the airbox? And the only thing I could think of, it's coming down, gravity fed to the carburetors, right? I have an engine fuel pump, but then it sits in the carburetor and then seeps into the airbox because the floats aren't stopping.
It's not shutting it off.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly. The float wasn't stopping it. So I thought, okay, why is the float not stopping it? Because the float's got to not only go up, but it has to like push the needle down.
Yep.
So my mechanic says he just thinks it's fucking gummed up and fix it. He says, I can't see how either one of the gases could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. And the reason, had I started the engine diluted with oil like that, because there was diluted with gas, there was gas getting into the intake too.
Oh yeah, it's overflowing into the right through it. Yeah.
So if you started that up, that lack of lubricant, that would have just, you could have done some serious damage.
Yeah, you would have been at a very high RPM. Yeah.
So
Is this your plane or your helicopter?
My plane, my little plane. So here's what I did. I decided to do a complete rebuild, but he said you don't have to drain the fuel and redo it. Me, my fuel filter's new, everything. I just don't get it.
So it's not contamination like debris. It's varnish.
He says you can't even. It all looks fine. Now, does it have a different gravity? Does avgas have a different gravity than auto fuel? Because when it was rebuilt for auto gas.
Well, you don't set the floats to the fuel anyway. You set the float to a spec.
Okay.
So you don't really take into consideration what fuel. Yeah. It's just the.
And the floats weighed. The floats were.
Here we come.
Fine. They weren't absorbed.
How?
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. All right. Did you get that guy's information? I'll bet you there are a lot of private investors that would be interested in that one.
Yep, I emailed it to you.
Thank you. Now, Deputy Bo's got a follow-up, but let me take Andrew first, Deputy. Andrew, you have an issue with, this is for Kevin. It's a 2013 F-150. Go ahead, Andrew, talk to us. Where you go? Yeah, Andrew, go ahead. Are you there? He's not there. Okay, I'm going to put him on hold, check him. I thought he was there. I'm going to take Bo. Bo, what's going on with Champ Hyundai? When was that from December 11th?
Yeah, this was last Wednesday. Mager was the host.
Okay.
So this one's not turning out good at all.
Uh-oh.
It's bad. Kenny took his 2012 Hyundai in. He had battery issues. So they replaced the harness, a wiring harness. Charged him $1,000. He took the vehicle out, drove it, and only drove like 4 or 5 miles, and the battery totally drained.
It's a hybrid, Tom, so you understand what we're talking about.
Okay. So
2012 Hyundai hybrid.
Okay, so go ahead.
So he took the car back, and then they said he needed a belt tensioner kit. That was $1,100. He gave him the authorization to do that. So during all of this, one of the technicians at this dealership told Kenny, hey, we think it's of the tech's opinion that it's the battery. The battery lost the cell, and that's what I tend to think.
What was the original job again, did you say?
It was only holding 10% charge. Or no, that's not true. Here's what would happen. The battery would charge up, but it would be completely dead within 10 miles.
It was due to a charging issue. Okay. And then that's when they started removing and replacing. So what happened? What ended up happening?
Now the dealership has told him that there's a noise in the transmission, and in order to make the vehicle right, they want to replace the transmission. Kenny says the transmission has nothing to do with it. Your text said it's a battery issue. I have a lifetime warranty on the battery. I want you guys to replace the battery.
How much did he spend up to this point?
$2,200.
And he still had the problem.
The car is still at the shop. At Shop Hyundai, they will not work. They will not look at the battery issue, and they're not going to do anything till he agrees to replace the battery. So, Tom.
Wait. You mean agreed to replace the transmission?
I'm sorry, the transmission. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, but they took $2,500 before they did the transmission.
Now, here's what I want to know. Is there a way we can just have that independently evaluated by another dealer?
Absolutely.
That's a great.
Yeah, but he's going to be. When he picks it up, I assume he's got to pay whatever he owes there now.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll have a problem getting it back if it turns out they were full of crap.
Oh, look who we're dealing with.
Well, small claims car, Mark, for $2,200.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he'd win if we can get it to a good place, and we know some good Hyundai places like McDonald Hyundai.
Yeah, I called the service manager 3 times, and on the 4th time, I said, "Look, I'm going to have Kenny go to the dealer board. If you just
can I just tell you this, bro? Let me just tell you something. First of all, the dealer board's dealing only with. They don't deal with service. They deal only in sales. But let me tell you about Schomp. They suck. Schomp is a terrible organization. Now, Schomp used to be a great organization. That's what's sad about it.
Right, when the kid
took it over. No, when the mom owned it, Lisa.
Okay.
Actually, the dad had it originally, Ralph. Then it went to Lisa, and then Lisa, I think, sent it to her son, which was basically unfortunate. Her son's a frickin' idiot.
Right. Well, the caller doesn't want to really pay the $2,200, Tom, because he feels that this wiring harness and belt tensioner didn't solve the problem. It's still, the battery just drains out.
Would they let him go and get it checked? Probably not.
Well, no, not without paying the bill. I talked to Pete Rashid. He's the service manager. I called in on a backdoor number. He picked up the phone. He's very rude to me. He says, "I'm not talking to you till we talk to our corporate attorneys back east." And I go, wait,
back east. So, wait. Maybe Shomp's out of there too now. Is that the sense you got? They don't even Shomp's not even.
I mean, he had to go back east to talk to a corporate attorney. I said, "We don't need to talk to an attorney. Let's just help your customer that has had the car in there for several weeks and address the battery issue." And he just basically hung up on me once I told him who I was.
Okay, I have a feeling that this is not. I mean, does Schomp still own Schomp? Does anybody know? I actually don't know. We have to figure this out.
I have a feeling they don't, because their customer service sucks.
Well, that's hard to say because it always sucked. I mean, after the son took over, so it's either sucking more or sucking less. I don't know. This is terrible. The message here, though, for everyone: avoid Schomp. They suck. That's all I can say. I mean, what else can we do? But I mean,
I guess he'll have to try and maybe pay the bill until get the car.
Yeah, he can always go back and try to get some kind of resolution if it turns out they were full of horse crap. Do you think they were full of horse crap?
With these 2 repairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't solve the problem. He still has the
but sometimes, just so you know, sometimes they need more than one thing, right, Kev?
Well, yeah, but why weren't they worried about the transmission noise before they charged them $2,200? They're worried about it now that they won't warranty his battery, but they certainly didn't bring it up before they charged him.
Yeah, Bo, they're totally unreasonable, right?
Yeah.
Right, they want to replace the transmission, and what does that have to do with the flipping battery?
I get it.
And they won't address the battery issue.
I get it.
He needs to get it out of there.
I got to take this break, though. 303-713-8255. Compass Insurance Group will do a free insurance checkup to make sure you're not paying too much, you're not underinsured, or maybe even overinsured. It's all free and complimentary due to Compass and the show. 303-996-9000, theinsurancehelpcenter.com.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Hey, we're still in good shape out here. Pena continues to run kind of heavy out of the airport. It's tying up a little bit around Tower, then eases up a little bit, but still crowded back towards I-70. I-70, it looks like west from Colorado over to Brighton's kind of jamming. 270 both directions out of Commerce City. Just a little on the sluggish side. I-25 coming south into downtown as well as north up towards 6th Avenue. A little on the busy side, also seeing slowing into Inglewood along Hampton, both directions near Santa Fe. That's a look at your drive.
What can we learn from the 2024 election? This week on Red Pilled America, we tell the story of how Donald Trump won the race for the White House. Again, listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
ZeroResDenver.com. I love ZeroRes. I use them in my home. In fact, it's the only company I'll use in my home for so many reasons. Well, actually, I joke and say for nothing, meaning ZeroRes water is just purified water. Softened, a little alkaline base. It's the best cleaning agent in all of nature. I say it over and over. That means the indoor air quality is even better in your home. You don't have anything evaporating into the air. You don't have any chemicals. In fact, it takes out all the chemicals from previous cleanings. And it takes out the dirt, the grime, the allergens, the pathogens. I love ZeroRes. Get Zero-Resified in your home. It is wonderful. 3 rooms starting at $109, $75 off duct cleaning. They also do all solid surfaces and even upholstery and mattresses, tile and grout. Call them 303-471-5150, 471-5150, ZeroResDenver.com. And while we're talking about, doing good things to your home, the Art of Granite will do new countertops or bathroom vanities or both or art nooks or anything granite. In fact, if you can find, and not just granite, but stone, okay? In fact, if you can find a piece big enough in their remnant yard, they do it free as far as materials. You just pay for the fabrication and installation. TheArtOfGranite.com. Get your price on the phone right now for countertops, islands, any part of that, and any materials. TheArtOfGranite.com. Get your price, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919.
Okay. You're always first to the pizza, Doc.
He is. He won't be second. I just stood up and happened to see it. Kelly didn't tell anybody it's here.
Did I hear you threw up?
Wait, I don't know. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. 6.
Who's the drunkest guy you ever saw on air?
Drunk on air.
You're like Hal and Charlie, who?
Charlie was, but Charlie could really hold his own. Bob Davidson, former Major League umpire, he and I each had 16 rum and cokes while doing a Rockies home opener from the Sports Column Bar. I was laying under the table crying at one point, but he was still on the air taking calls. It was surreal, man.
What's his name?
Bob Davidson. Oh my God, I was in the fetal position wondering where I'd gone wrong. 16 rum and cokes. Now they were small little skinny glasses. Part of a promotion they were doing. Uh-huh.
Close the box.
Oh man, and Bob just kept going. But there were times we used to have to carry him to his car after a show. He was a pro, man.
Still going. We're up to about...
I'm starting to hate Wikipedia.
From last week.
Why are they asking for money again?
That's all they do is ask for money.
Yeah.
About 3,400.
I mean, I like them. I like what they do, but golly.
Job application. No, it's true. Because we have to turn in how many things we apply for to get the unemployment. So.
Hey, Kelly, give me Tom's credit card. I'm going to sign him up for a monthly
that'll be fine.
Donation to
Do you
Wikipedia.
guys do the Costanza, the Vandalay, where you go, not only am I looking for a job, but I'm listening for a job. Remember that?
Well, he.
I look and listen.
God, what is his average since May? I don't know. 3,000. I'd have to figure that out. He applies for.
Who is he going to introduce the woman and her kid
it's
to?
Way more than required. He's not doing the minimum.
Really? You think that's a what, Mark?
Baseball player.
Oh.
He hasn't had one offer. No. He's
Keith
had about
Hernandez.
7 interviews. He's got one that's kind of a little bit promising right now, but we've both been burned so much that we're just kind of like, we'll see, kind of thing. What was he doing? He was at an AI company. He was a vice president of sales. And then the company got bought by an Indian company, and they wiped out everybody.
I love the fact I can see what Kevin's looking at. I'm pretty sure it's meat at Costco.
Are you zooming in on Kev's Google history there?
Yep.
30 seconds away from whatever
How
it is
to compete
you do.
with Applebee's riblets. Huh.
Yeah.
Kelly, we have any water?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's averaging about 425 applications a month.
How to donate to the Harris Fund.
Huh. You buy the pizza today, Tom, or did Kev?
Hairless.
What's that, sir?
Who bought the pizza today, you or Kev?
Kev.
All right. Coming back.
630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. I want to talk to, who's been waiting a while? Deputy Bo. Oh, we talked to Deputy Bo. What are we going to do about that? I mean, I don't really know yet. We're going to have to try to figure out, maybe he pays.
He's going to have to pay the bill and get it moved.
And pays by credit card, can contest it as well. Andrew is back. Andrew, you have hot air.
Hey,
you have hot air blowing out of the driver's side on your F-150?
Yeah. 2013 F-150, I can only get heat on the driver's side right now.
Kevin, you say this. I think you take one of these every week about blend door.
Yeah, the blend and mode doors. You know, there's so many different actuators and doors inside there that direct air different places. Yeah.
The fact that you're getting hot air somewhere means the heater core is working.
Yep. Yeah, you're just losing the.
So only one heater. Is it vacuum operated? Are those?
No,
or
they're
those
electric. They're
or?
electric. Little actuators sit on top of the doors. The door has like a stem on it, and the little motor will turn the door open or close or halfway and so forth. So it's an actuator issue 90% of the time.
So I've got the floor shifter. Is that? Am I just going to have to tear everything apart to get to it?
I've got to look at a diagram because there's so many different ones. Some you can actually, we call it Gumby. I got one guy's got real skinny, flexible arms. He gets up in there. So some you can get without pulling it apart. Some you got to pull the whole dash out. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
Are you doing it yourself?
Yeah.
Are you doing it yourself, Andrew?
It depends on. I mean, I'll bring it into him and have him check it out.
You can look it up on YouTube. You know, they'll give you some general ideas
You
anyway.
give me a general idea. From what to what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be $100 to plus the actuator upwards to $800 to $1,200. That's a huge spread
because of the part.
No, because one you can get two like through the glove box. You take the glove box.
Yeah, that's
out,
what I'm asking. So
and the next one though, you have to pull the entire dash out.
So if you can get to it, it's a few hundred. If you can't,
then $1,200-$1,500. Yeah,
because of the labor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's your range, bro. I hope. Geez. But you can find out with a VIN number or something.
Well, yeah, we can get a look at it. Yeah.
Or have them take a look at it. It won't cost you anything. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We got another 2 hours to go on the Troubleshooter Show. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints.
'Twas the night. And Mark is gone. Or he's taken off. Mark, you still there to say bye?
No, the pizza.
Goodbye.
The jalapenos.
He's leaving.
Later. Bye.
What were you saying, Doc?
You
I'm
never
sorry.
eat it with the jalapenos.
Oh,
I was being facetious.
I know.
What do you think of that guy that needs a bridge loan? He sounds for real to me. I forgot to ask him what he's going to use the money for.
Oh, you mean the guy selling his land?
I'm so fascinated.
No, he's not. Yeah.
I don't know of any place
legit.
in Denver that does it, but I really, really, really
lot of
want to
answers.
try those Chinese like pulled noodles. You know how they bang them on the. Have you ever seen it before?
I guess I have. Yeah.
I don't know of any place in Denver that does it. And I've always wanted to try it.
Okay. Kelly, I just don't understand, and it bothers me a little bit. Has he had any scams, too?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, there are things called ghost jobs. And so he's averaging about 400 a month applications. And, so about 100 applications a week. But these ghost jobs are just insane where, somebody will post a job, but they're not actually hiring. They're just posting it to make themselves look like, hey, we're really, up and coming. So AI software for business to business operations. And there is a faction of his old company that did B2C, but he was over the B2B. So it's kind of a cool product. What it does is it is software that inserts kind of a camera and takes voice patterns of the business that your business is trying to sell to, and you can basically see the analytics of when the other business is interested. It analyzes all of that so you can actually increase your sales by doing that. And
I'm doing something.
And so it's companies like, for instance,
Well,
if you're like a hotel salesperson,
you're like a hoe.
and you're trying to sell to
I can get
somebody
out of
who
your
wants
way.
to,
Yeah.
you're trying to sell to somebody who wants to plan a convention. So this software on the hotel side would be able to
I'm rolling in the
ascertain
background.
when your
I'm doing
client
this
is
for
actually
Best
interested
I
or
need
not
to upload
interested.
this
It
and
analyzes all that.
Once it's through, I'm doing
Huh?
the vocal compression.
Oh no, they do. They just replaced everybody from India. So like the Indian people are doing it now. So everybody got wiped out. The entire C-suite, all the VPs, all the directors. They kept some IT people and some engineers. No, he's sales. He's always been sales and marketing. So.
You okay? Any more water or anything?
No, I'm good.
Well, he worked at Dish Network for 25 years, and he was head of enablement, which is kind of like training people how to sell better, and training installers to upsell. Oh my God, Dish is a sinking ship. He had to leave there. I mean, they're getting bought right now by DirecTV.
For debt.
So
they're not even getting any money. They're just getting their debt wiped out.
Yeah. I mean,
They went down that far.
Yeah. Billions in debt.
And also, so we actually still own. We probably should dump it, but yeah, we still own Dish stock. It's about at $1.75 right now.
Why, though?
Sell it and go out to dinner.
Yeah, well,
Get a burger.
that's basically what it is. I mean, it's terrible. It's a total sinking ship. What the hell?
Jeez, Doc.
He's used to having other people close when he leaves the room. Nurse, will you close for me? Thank you.
I goes in one ear and out the other.
Des does anything, Kelly says.
Not on purpose, yeah.
At least he closed it. Are we done? Can I like?
I've seen bigger
Because Kev
boxes.
said something about it.
I've seen bigger boxes.
All right, one for Greg.
Nope.
Okay. One for Shan.
Hello.
I have about a dozen in the freezer, no more. Maybe.
of the crumbles. That one that you described
Very good. How are
sounded
you?
good. What was it? It was like not the chocolate one. Yeah, that one. That one. Yeah, that one sounds good.
That's
I am not a fan of eggnog, but I love cooking with it. Like, because you can use it in recipes like banana bread. You can substitute it for milk. It is sweet, but you know that you just lessen the sugar and then you add the eggnog. Unless it has a lot of rum. Then I can kind of do eggnog, but
We had a customer used to make these rum cakes for Christmas. I gotta find her. She'd start like at Thanksgiving and then just start pouring the rum on them every other day.
oh, and then everything just soaked. Oh my God.
You pick it up, it's like a 15, 20 pound cake. It's just like, oh.
Yep.
They were $150 10 years ago. That was amazing.
Oh.
You gotta like rum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seconds away.
Sure, Shannon.
Well, it's like there's a progress bar. It's not like it's an infinite.
Well, it's only 15 seconds until it's the doc show.
Yeah, right?
Where's the other old guy?
What is he on? One?
No, he's here.
So it doesn't matter?
But one is
Talk station 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What's going on today? It's a Friday. People are winding down for holidays. They always do that. Nothing wrong with that. But you know what? We all have to make changes at this time of year, I think. Everyone likes to face the new year with something new. They all make kind of resolutions, or it's just a time to change. I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to get a better job.
It doesn't count if you have the same resolution every year, though, does it?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yep.
So anyway, Kevin Calkin, SheridanAutotech.com. I appreciate you being here for Car Day. What, Doc?
Do you ever try going to your gym on the first week in January?
It's terrible. I go every other day all year, and I hate January at the gym. You're right about that. And you know, just as sure as you're standing there, it's going to thin out in about a month, too, and after the first quarter, it's absolutely done. And it's amazing to me.
Yeah, after the first month, it's the same people you see on a normal basis.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now we talk to Bob. Hey, then we're going to have open lines for the first time this morning, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You can also call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. What's going on with you, Bob?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Last Friday, I had called in and talked to you, and I talked to Kevin at Sheridan Auto Tech about my pickup that was making a weird noise. Ended up setting up an appointment and with Isaiah and took the truck in. I just wanted to let everyone know, I mean, you already know, but your listeners, just what a great place Sheridan Auto Tech and Kevin is. The first place I took it to, they wasn't sure what it was. They really couldn't diagnose it.
Yeah.
Kevin had it for a day, and Isaiah called me back and told me evidently they have a gentleman there that works on heavy vehicles. I think Kevin called him a heavy mechanic.
Heavy line. He's my motor guy. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And he said he'd seen this before. As it turns out, it's not good. I'm going to need a new motor. But the great thing with Sheridan Auto Tech is, Isaiah told me, he says, the mechanic said he knows what this is. He says, if you want me to go ahead and have him pull the pan and look at it and charge you $1,250 for something we already know, I'll do it, but why would you want to spend money you don't need to?
That's so nice. That's really nice.
Most places, a lot of places go ahead and nick you for that $1,250.
I know they do. I know they do.
Sheridan Auto Tech, great customer service. Isaiah is really great. I had the pleasure of meeting Kevin when I picked my truck up. It's the waiting room is huge. It's just a first class place. I can't say enough good about it. And I want to thank you, Kevin, for what you did.
Well, appreciate you, Bob. Appreciate those nice words. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I always love hearing about the people that I endorse. Really good people. I want to ask you a question. Now, by the way, everything you hear on this show is open game. You can call about everything. You can call good or bad reports on sponsors. You can also call good or bad reports on what advice I give and what you think, how things followed up. If you ever want to know about a past case, you can call us. And 303 Martino, even though we're on the air and you can call the station number, the iHeart number, 303-713-TALK, you can also call us directly, at 303 Martino, and we'll get you on the show. Even if we're not there, leave a voicemail. We'll get back to you. Now, are you a hoarder? Well, there's a new kind of hoarder out there. I've accused my wife of being one. And I know a lot of them. Digital hoarders. You look at their computer, look at their desktop, look at their downloads that they've long stopped using, still there, installation files, trash, unused fragment. Honest to God, there are people, and I don't know why I got into this, but my computer's lean and mean. Lean and mean. And when I look at people's computers that are hoarders, and that even includes photos and things, everything. A digital hoarder, once it's on that computer, they never get rid of it. And it's not organized. I organize everything into folders, right? So when I try to do that for someone, or tell them you don't need, like when I was on my sister's computer one time, and you don't need this, you don't need this, Oh, no, don't delete anything. It's like this fear of deletion. What is that all about?
Don't you think it's more out of just not knowing, just ignorance, if they actually knew what you were trying to accomplish? Because
there's almost a comfort.
Well, it's not hurting anything to sit there in their mind, so why bother? Why deal with it?
But it is.
It is. I know, but in their mind, it's not.
So I want to know, I take instant surveys on my YouTube. My YouTube morons can weigh in on this. That's instant because they can chat while we're on the air. But you can also call the show. And I'm serious. I've talked to some of our PC and Apple people that repair things, right? They used to go out to people's houses or people bring stuff in. Part of the problem was this hoarding thing. It just bogs down your system. Now, Windows has gotten way more lean and mean over the years as far as how it handles programs, but it still has all the dynamically linked libraries, DLL files, and all kinds of stuff. It has to keep track of each program. I think Mac has always done it more efficiently, Apple, always. But they both can be cluttered. And it's amazing to me how many people, their computer would run 10 times better, but they keep hoarding. They keep hoarding. Are you a digital hoarder? How about you, Doc? Are you? You probably are.
No, I have hardly anything.
Yeah? You sure? How about you, Kev? Be honest here.
No, I'm guilty about being lazy with downloads and stuff. Because there's a lot of downloading and they just stay there. I just leave them.
When you install a file and then you don't need the installer anymore or different things.
Yep.
And really... To me, it ends up cluttering your files. It clutters your computer, and it's going to do you harm in the long run, in my opinion.
I agree. No, absolutely.
And so digital hoarders, in my opinion, I think that it's a reflection of your mind. When I look at it, I think, okay, this person's mind is not organized. They think that really, if you think about it, even more so than a house, although a house hoarding is worse, of course. But digital hoarding. So I'd like to know your honest to God confession about digital hoarding. Now, here's another one. I want to know if you know people who are space suckers. Do you know what a space sucker is?
I do not.
Do you know anyone who's a space? You don't know what it is, do you?
I'm not sure.
Well, you may not know any, but there are space suckers out there. And if you have a friend who's a space sucker, it's terrible. I've had a few. In fact, I have one right now. A space sucker. I have one right now. I'm going to talk to you about it coming up. I'm Tom Martino. I promise I'll talk about it. I know people say, Tom, don't forget. I won't. 303-713-8255. And I also want to tell you about Genesis Total Exteriors doing the 2-for-1 special on doors for the year end. Beautiful wood doors, solid core. They can do 2-for-1. So you replace 2 doors, you pay for 1 in your house. Get rid of those old ugly doors. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Addiction.
Has nothing to do with Elon Musk and SpaceX, right?
Not that guy.
For the people that he sent there and the time that he kept him there. He should have had someone for a month.
Vestera Turnkey is such a cool program, and so many people have asked me about it, okay? Because they want to be a landlord, but they don't want the hassle, and Vestera Turnkey helps you identify properties in hot markets, hot for appreciation, great rentals, positive cash flow. They hook you up with the property. They help you buy it, like as far as real estate people, and then help you sell it. And in between, they hook you up with a management company, no add-on fees. It's all very basic and a wonderful program. People have doubled their money sometimes in 2 years. And people have asked if I'm getting involved. And yes, my Wave 8 wealth management company is getting involved in that as well for smaller investors if they don't have the full Monty. If you have the full investment, I recommend you go to Barry Miller directly and Vestera Turnkey. They are great people, and you can find out more mybiggestreturn.com. That's where you go, mybiggestreturn.com.
The money you deserve, they are good lawyers. This shit was going really, really fast. Here's a weird thing in the radio business. Here's a weird... And fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax. Is tax debt ruining your life? It doesn't work. First the winner. Guardian Tax understands how the IRS works. Personal or business, this is the fresh start you've been praying for. You're scared of the IRS, and for good reason. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most. Right up on the Troubleshooter Show. Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-4169. 800-505-4169. Once again, that's 800-505-4169. This season,
69.
Classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. The Equinox EV and all-new Equinox, America's best compact SUV for new vehicle quality by J.D. Power.
All right, morons.
Studio dancing to the Donna Summer. Yeah, how can you not? That reminds me of
Where's my YouTube? Oh, there it is.
What do you think those drones are, Tommy, over New Jersey?
I have no idea, but why isn't the government doing anything?
About what? Those drones?
The drones.
Because they're government drones.
That could be, yeah.
If it wasn't the government, the governor of New Jersey would have sent up a National Guard helicopter to see what it was. I mean, if I can think of that, the governor can think of that.
Yeah, I don't know why can't they just tell people?
Excuse me?
Why can't they just be straight up and just tell people what it is?
So Chopper gave away your secret.
Which one?
About a space sucker.
Oh, no, that's not it.
No, there's different, but that's a good one.
That is a good one. Those people piss me off.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
I get pissed off at
for a king, man.
people who park in handicap spots.
So, in order for YouTubers to hear me, I have to be in program.
No, for the YouTubers to hear you, it's what
Wait.
No, I thought they do it when we were offline.
I mean,
yeah.
I can't hear him.
No, you got me now? Okay, so to be an offline, you would hear Kelly and I, and that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
It's just
Thanks
for us here
calling
in
Tom
internal.
Martino.
So YouTube
But
hears
for me,
everything offline.
For them to hear us in the studio.
Right. So I take Access 1
Okay.
off, so that puts
What's,
YouTube
the-
in offline mode.
Okay. Okay. All right, what's your name? Brad. Okay, Brad, hang on for me.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
10 seconds.
Trajan Wealth, K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-825. I'm going to tell you, I told you about hoarders, right? Digital hoarders. I'm going to tell you about space suckers. You just hang on, I promise. Brad, he has a question for Uncle Kevin here on transmission fluid. Go ahead, Brad. What's going on?
Yes, I have a 2018 GMC Canyon. It doesn't have quite 30,000 miles on it yet, and wondering when to change the transmission fluid.
I think you're right there now. I mean, anytime next couple of months, I would do it.
Is it by year or by mile?
Both.
So what would you say?
You know, he's got 5 years on it, so I mean that's more than enough. 5-6 years. Or
does the factory recommend anything on those?
They call a lot of them lifetime and
not
different things.
the GMCs though, right?
Yeah, but they don't.
No.
I don't think the service.
They don't stress it, do they?
They don't. They don't want to.
Golly.
They want you to buy a transmission.
Yeah, no, I'm going to change it because this is my last car.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Do they make synthetic transmission fluid?
That one does have synthetic fluid in it. It's a Dextron 6. Yeah, it's full
If it
synthetic.
doesn't, can you change over to it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't hurt anything.
Are synthetic fluids better nowadays?
They just don't break down. They're much more temperature stable than conventional fluids.
Do they come from regular petroleum products?
Yes. Yeah, it's just the way they split the atom or whatever they do with it.
So it's still dependent on oil.
It's still petroleum, yes.
Is AMSOIL the same way?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all oil-based, but it's just what they do with them to get them to the synthetic.
Wasn't there one that came from corn or something? I thought maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, Brad, you should get that done. How often would you recommend it?
A lot has to do with the driving. If you have a trailer, you're hauling, anything like that, I would do it every couple years. or 25,000 miles. But regular driving, 4 years to 50,000 miles.
All right.
Something in that range.
And Kevin, what's that number at your office, at your shop?
The number is 303-455-7242. Isn't that right?
Yep, perfect.
Yeah. I kind of got
that on the south side of Colfax?
It is, yep.
Right
okay.
Now. Yeah. Okay, now, a space sucker. Here's what a space sucker is. If you ever move into a beautiful home, you have a 3-car garage, or in my case, I have, or you have something, you have space. You might be out in the country. It used to happen when I was in the country, and I had a big indoor arena, or I had a big place for my RV, or now I have a hangar for my stuff. And people see space, and they say, "Hey, would you mind? My son's going away to college. Can we park his car there?" Or my kid just moved out, or I'm moving out of an apartment or a house, and I can't fit everything in my apartment. I'm downsizing. Can you just hold this onto this stuff for a little while? And they see space and they occupy it. Now, it's a little different than a hoarder, because a hoarder would bring it all in. They want to get rid of it, but they don't want to get rid of it. They want you to bear the brunt.
Yeah, that's the first step in getting rid of it.
Have you ever had a space sucker?
It sounds like a parasite more than a space sucker.
Well, having shops with parking lots, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, friends,
and
trailers.
Then friends especially.
Boats. Can I park my boat there until the other place can this and that?
Oh, and then they never leave.
Well, yeah, then you're calling them 4
and
months
then
later.
I shouldn't say, one of my children, I only have 2. Oh, my God. I said, honey, why do you need this? And why do you need this? These are girls get attached to every trinket they've ever had in their life. They attach feelings to them and memories to them, even if they're in a box somewhere and they never look at them. And I say, hon, if you're never going to look at it, I mean, can't we get rid of it? So I'm serving as her halfway house now. She lives with me, and she did not used to, but the first thing we had to get used to was, hun, this is the way I live. See, look, everything has a place, and everything is clean, and there's a system for forget it. And I swear to God, even now, I said, did you notice, hun, that the kitchen trash is overflowing? Because sometimes I won't see her for a few days. And I said, do you notice that the trash is overflowing? And she lives in the home where my studio is. And I said, here's what you do. See these strings? You tie them up. You pull the bag out. I'm serious. It's like just natural stuff. And I'm wondering if kids ever, some of these kids were outside in the rain and they were looking up. Would they drown?
Tom, did you let her do it when she was younger?
Now wait.
If you never made her take out the trash when she was younger, she's not going to do it now.
Now remember, it was a split household, so I had them. I didn't have them a majority of the time, but I had them. But you can only. This is really bad for people that go through this, and more than 50% of the people go through with kids, right? Because households split up. And here's what happens. They live one way in one house and another way in another house. How do they decide? They decide, I think.
Well, they know what they can get away with.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
So they go for but when they get used to getting away with something, then they come to a stricter home.
Mm-hmm.
The stricter home, they think they can get away with stuff.
But sometimes it's easier for them.
It's hard for them to go back and forth.
I think it's easier for them to have strict.
Oh, listen, I made a point, and I told both of my kids, I said, look, now my son's starting to get it, but I said to both of my kids, look, now I take this off and I throw it over here. Okay? Now, time me. Throw it here. Move it out of the way when you got to go here. Do this. Okay, now watch. Take it off. Hanger, hung. Same amount of time. Mm-hmm. But there's one difference. I'm never going to have extra time cleaning it up.
Yep.
I mean, honest to God, I don't understand this mentality of not doing things when they need to be done. Mm-hmm. It's not an undue pressure. It would be different if it took more effort. So that's what I've always been confused about.
Well, Tom, I think it's because they expect you to do it.
No, not really. Well, I mean, I guess you could make that argument, but you don't understand. I don't spoil them like that. I just holler at them, and they get it, and they like it. Once it's done, they love it.
Mm-hmm.
But getting there, it's almost like their eyes avoid it as long as they can. You know this, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so let's talk to Randy. Hey, parents, feel free to weigh in on this. It's the ultimate consumer issue. How do you motivate kids to be organized? Or maybe you don't care. Actually, if a lot of parents are slobs, they don't care. Randy, what's going on, man?
My question is regarding uninsured motorist coverage.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you could answer this question or not, but I was told by my representative of the insurance company that I use that I don't really need it in Colorado because of my collision and comprehensive.
Okay.
And that was specifically in Colorado.
Who is your carrier?
USAA.
And who told you this? An agent?
Yeah.
They're liars.
Okay.
But most insurance people are liars, and most of them are ripoffs. So
why
I would
they lie to
expect
me about that? Because they would get extra money from me.
Well, no. There are certain coverages they don't like. Here are the coverages they don't like because they are lower risk. Well, no, they're high risk for the insurance company and low cost to you. They don't like MedPay. MedPay, and I'll explain insurance to you because it's really important. And they don't like uninsured motorist coverage. And uninsured motorist coverage has nothing to do with your comprehensive or collision at all. In fact, they're not related in any way. So if you'd be so kind to hold on, I'm going to explain it all to you. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30.
Denver, so that if you get a photo ticket, you must pay it. Do you know if that's correct or not?
Well, you've always had it's still an accusation.
Right.
No matter what, it's not.
But they didn't come after you if you didn't pay it. They just nothing happened.
No, they would come after you. I got come after I had to pay one. They served me, but they don't often serve you. Are you telling me they changed the laws so mail is service? That could be I don't know. Find out because I don't know what you're talking about. Because there is, if they've changed, some municipalities have made it so if you don't pay and they want to take you to court, they still have to take you to court, no matter what. But they don't have to personally serve you. Some municipalities have changed it to mail.
But it's not just the ticket they're mailing. They're mailing you notice of court.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, those mysterious drones are all over.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just seeing them in New Jersey right now.
If you are looking for security in investing, well, there is a product, a fixed indexed annuity offered by Joe Chiano, a financial planner. But I want to just say this, okay? It is a product for people as they get older to have income. And what's important about them is they offer absolute security and guarantees, and they have really limited risk at all. The only risk is the risk of losing out on upside. Yes, it does happen. Okay, so at a certain age, it makes sense. And certainly Joe Chiano will be the one to consult about that. 303-779-6600, mymoneymyway.com. You know, these drones, there's too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? What? Now, wouldn't the country...
Just send, if it wasn't the government, they would just send up an Air Force plane to go look at it.
Of course they would. I see... It, okay.
But people just get carried away. They said Iran sent up a mothership, and
right.
They're launching drones from the mothership and all this.
Send up a freaking F.
I guarantee you they have. There's no way a drone the size of a Volkswagen is going to be flying around up there. They're not going
Right.
to send something up. But you know how many people, just independent companies have their own drones and different things, and who knows?
And, you know, it's not like they're trying to hide them. The drones have flashing lights and aviation lights
Yeah.
on them.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been watching a lot on AI. And I've been watching a lot of TED Talks and all different experts around.
Of what? The drones or AI?
AI.
Artificial intelligence. It's a little magical. I swear to God. People developed it, I swear, to tell you that it took on
Keep the rest of that crap.
the process started taking on its own search and recovery and stuff. Not like it's alive.
Not like Hal or something, yeah.
And it didn't do it to be devious, but it's almost like when you write this code, there is a way
Thanks,
that it
Dragon.
can get away. Now, obviously, you have an off switch, but it really is to a point. I'm going to tell you something.
But is it still biased? Have you seen?
No. Well, I don't use it for anything on
Yeah.
opinions.
Sure, sure.
I use it. It is the most extraordinary tool I have ever had at my disposal, ever. Bar none.
For just
You pay for it, Tom?
Huh?
Is it, how much?
And I pay $20 a month. I will tell you, Kevin, I swear to God, I have not run across something it can't answer. And I found out what it is, but how it does it, I don't know. The language model is so extraordinary, how they interpret what you're saying and how they talk back to you and how you're saying it. But the better thing about it is a search, it is a recovery of data, then it's an organization and a regurgitation. That's really what it is. It's returns, organized, and regurgitated.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I love it for writing letters and different things.
And oh my God, but I.
You know, colleges are having a difficult time with it because
you can't stop it.
No.
It will never
But the
be
kids
stopped.
are used.
Here's what I want to know though.
They're using
if
it to.
it feeds on itself and more and more people use it, then the collective intelligence could go down. This is working on collective intelligence. So you either have the elite intelligent who stay that way, and the crowds who depend on it, or we all get dumbed down, but then that would get dumbed down because it's only a product of what it searches. That's all it is. It all starts with a search. Now, it could be a search on the web, but what it really is a search of the web and of its training, because it is trained when it comes to imagery.
Do you think they?
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'm going to talk to Randy about car insurance. Randy, this is a good topic and worth review every now and then, and this is really what we have to talk about. There are certain coverages they don't mind. They don't want any coverage that's going to collect. What they don't like is having high risk and low payments, and I don't know why they haven't raised payments on this stuff. But the number one thing insurance companies hate writing and try to trick you out of it, and that's why the government had to make it so you actually have to turn it down, and they have to record how you turned it down. That is MedPay. Now, MedPay means when you're in an accident, no matter whose fault it is, if you have MedPay, it'll pay up to a certain amount of coverage that you bought, period. And they cannot get reimbursed. They cannot put a lien on your settlement. It's free, absolutely free coverage. Well, it's not free. You paid for it. But I mean, there's nothing to assess, nothing to get paid back. And they don't assess fault. You automatically get it if you have doctor's bills or medical expenses. So they hate that. The next thing they hate is uninsured motorist coverage. And it's called UMN. It's both underinsured and uninsured. Okay? Why do they hate it? Because it turns their own clients into adversaries. Because here's what it covers, Randy, and this is the biggest misunderstanding. It does not cover property damage. It covers what is pain and suffering and economic damages that the other party would have paid had they had insurance. It's that simple. So if Kevin was driving down the road and hit me and caused me severe injury, and I had loss of work and pleasure in life and enjoyment and pain and suffering, and he had good insurance, I'd sue him and maybe get $500,000, who knows? But let's say he didn't have insurance. There's no one to sue. Well, yes, there is. I go to my coverage, and I don't have to sue at first. I ask for the same $500,000. So now my own insurance company is now my adversary. They step into the place of what would have been Kevin's insurance, hence the name uninsured or underinsured. So let's say Kevin had $100,000 in coverage, but my damages were $500. Well, I could go to my insurance for the difference. That's what underinsured and uninsured motorists is for. Now, there's a rare coverage called uninsured property damage, which is something that not to be confused with regular uninsured motorists. Uninsured property damage only pays one time. If you're in an accident with someone and they ruin your car and they have no coverage and you get your car covered. But that is if you have collision coverage and comprehensive coverage, that is the coverage you do not need. Okay? So they were kind of correct, but I think they were confused. Uninsured property damage, you do not need if you have collision coverage and comprehensive coverage. Comprehensive is fire, theft, a hailstorm, something like that. If you get that, then it's covered. If you get into an accident and you have collision, it's covered. If you get into an accident with someone uninsured, it's covered. The only time you need uninsured property damage is when you have an older car and you're not going to have collision coverage. It's not financed and it's not required. And you don't want to carry comprehensive because it's an old beat up car. So you decide to just buy uninsured property damage. And that's what they could have been talking about that you do not need.
Well, I was specifically talking about, my vehicle. Are you considering that property?
Yes, that's uninsured motorist property damage. But what's odd about that is you said they told you didn't need it. Did you specifically ask for uninsured property damage?
No, this not at all. It was just the uninsured motorist.
Okay, if you ask for uninsured motorist coverage, the assumption is you're talking about uninsured motorist coverage for pain and suffering, not for property damage. I don't know why they steered you that way, okay? But I think they did that because they're trying to keep you from buying the other uninsured motorist coverage, the one you really should buy.
Okay.
Do you have I'm going to answer specific questions. Do you have collision coverage on your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have comprehensive on your car?
Of course.
So you're covered for weather events, theft, fire, and all of that, and you're covered for collision. If you have full coverage, you do not need property damage, uninsured property damage. You still need uninsured motorist coverage, okay? They don't want you to buy that.
Okay. Now, what about MedPay? Would you suggest you go to the maximum amount you could purchase, well, as long as you could afford it? Do you think it's good money spent?
Yes, I do. If you have a lot to lose, and if you don't have great health insurance, there's all kinds of other factors. But give me an idea. Are you on Medicare?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have good Medicare with a good supplement?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Now,
I've got Medicare Advantage.
okay. Do you like it? It's good?
Yeah, it's been very good.
Okay. Now, do you have a lot of income?
No.
Okay. Do you have what are they presenting you for MedPay? How much? For how much?
100K.
For how much?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you that. I'm not looking at the policy right now.
Okay. I personally, I would go for myself because I have really good Medicare. I would go for 25 minimum, 50 maximum.
50 max, okay.
Uh-huh. Because
I
really,
believe I elected for 100,000.
I think it's a little more than you need, but I'd be concerned about more what you're paying for it. Because, you don't have to pay for stuff you don't need. Let's put it this way. The chances of you needing $100,000 in MedPay coverage before your regular health insurance kicks in is very rare. Okay?
Okay, well, what if you're
Tom,
a
wouldn't it depend on your
motorcycle rider?
deductibles?
What's that?
Wouldn't it depend on the deductible? Like Mark says he has a huge deductible before his insurance kicks in. So wouldn't it be?
Yeah, but it's never going to be $100,000.
No, not $100,000, but his is a lot.
But it's never going to. Mark, I would say, before his health insurance kicks in, will never get to $100,000.
Oh, absolutely. No, I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Neither will anyone. That's my opinion. How much? You don't know how much they're charging you though for this, do you?
No, I'll have to look it up. And now that you made me aware of this, I will look it up.
Good. Let me know how it goes. And you can always remember that free insurance checkup I talk about.
Right. Okay.
They're good
All
people.
right, well, thank you for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, man. I wish you the best, and always call with any questions, problems, complaints, 303-713-8255.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This
No, all I meant to say was if you check what your deductible is, that's how much of the
No,
med
you
pay
need
that
way
you need.
more than your deductible.
Yeah.
What you need is a good amount. What you're betting on is this will take everything before health insurance kicks in. But it's
Right.
more than a deductible.
Liar.
There are also other things to consider, and hassle and claims. And all
Guys,
that
were
bullshit.
they found guilty ever? Or was it just an accusation and ruined their lives?
You know what? I don't remember. That's a really good question.
Most deductibles are not going to be more than $6,000.
No, that's about what Mark says, 6,000 or 7,000.
But you wouldn't cover just 6,000 or 7,000 of MedPay.
Right.
Right.
K&H Home Solutions is a rock-solid company for windows, siding, doors, and more. And that more would be soffits, fascia, gutters, roofing. They do it all on the outside of your house, and they have beautiful Alpine windows. And I'm telling you, Alpine windows are made here in Colorado, and they are one of the best insulated, beautiful windows you can find. And they're thermally insulated fiberglass frames, and then they have an insulated glass unit second to none. And what I love about K&H, they've been around for 65 years. It's a company you can trust. 303-421-7100, khwindows.com. DenverRegen.com. If you're looking to go into the holidays satisfied, not overeating, even shedding weight, you can do it. You will not feel deprived. I'm telling you, tirzepatide or semaglutide are wonder drugs. And no, they're not dangerous. In fact, they have had many health benefits. You can do it for pennies on the dollar with the compounded formula from DenverRegen.com, starting at just $295 a month. And there's no commitment. It's month by month with doctor's visits included. That's DenverRegen.com. So I'm getting a laptop ready for my house. A little one that sits in my closet.
What, a laptop?
A little laptop with all of the YouTube stuff automated. So when I'm not around, Mark can go remote control from his house from here and start the stream without me. Because all this time when I've taken days off, I've started the stream from home.
Oh, what a pain that is. Yeah, if you got something to do, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take so long. I would start it and then leave. But
Sure, yeah.
Then I'd have to come back to end it. But I finally have got it down with technology where I can do this. It's when you to get to where I was. I know it sounds like it fucks up a lot, but what growing pains there were to get because what people don't understand is it's not as simple as just feeding the station. You can't just feed the station. They want to hear behind the scenes. They want to hear other things. So I have to feed what's called return audio. But return audio coming down through Comrex is just for you to hear for reference. It's not made to be broadcast quality.
Okay.
Going out through the Comrex is made to be broadcast quality. So what we would have is...
What is the difference?
Well, okay. There's something called codecs or coding. I'll give you an example. When a line is totally equalized, it sounds like they're here in the studio. The less equalized you get, the more it sounds like a phone call.
Okay.
Can you tell when you're interviewing someone on the phone?
Yeah.
Or when a call, right?
Yeah.
That's an unequalized kind of line. The more bit rate you can do, the more it starts sounding like you're here.
Got it.
So if you hear once in a while when I do those long commercials with John Fuller, he has his own line that's equalized, so it sounds like he's in the studio as opposed to a phone. Sometimes he calls, but so what that means is when you have this unit box I was using, I can broadcast to the station and it goes out and sounds great, right? But when the return audio comes and I then put that out on YouTube, not just phone calls, you guys in here, whatever is on the return audio coming back to me and going out to YouTube, it's going to be less quality than me here going out to YouTube. So you got return audio going to YouTube and me going. So people will say you're louder. Okay, now so if I turn up return audio, that fucks with my voice and I start sounding robotic. If I turn it down, then it was impossible. So what I had to do was find a solution where I can manipulate the return stream and give it its own quality and my stream.
Can you do that at home?
Well, now I have I'm doing it right now. Oh, okay. So I found a software solution that has equal quality. So it's equal quality, whether it's return or me. And it's on two separate channels, so I can mix them. So I'm never going to be louder. On Comrex when it came out, and I fed it into my system, it was always Kevin.
It sounds like what you're doing with audio when you play Spotify or Pandora. You can set the volume at a certain level for all the songs.
Martino gives great advice.
Ryan Schuling.
I have strong opinions, but I like that.
Dan Caplis.
Capitalism keeps fighting a good fight.
On Denver's Talk Station.
I keep it on.
630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mike wants to talk about spark plugs. Hey, Mike, what's going on with your 2018 Hyundai Tucson? What's happening?
The question I got, I just wanted to get Kevin's opinion on. I'm coming on 60,000 miles on my Tucson Hyundai, and I was wondering when he recommended to get the spark plugs changed out.
Yeah, between 60 and 75, depending on driving. It's a lot of highways that go 75. There's a lot of stop in the middle.
Does the owner's manual tell you that?
They probably say 100.
Yeah, that's what
I
they
think
say
100 is
exactly.
too far.
So why do manuals go farther than you like and farther than most mechanics like when it comes to oil change intervals, when it comes to anything, spark plugs, when it comes to transmissions? Why do owners' manuals, why are they more generous?
We tend to overdo probably on maintenance, but I see so many individual problems. If you leave spark plugs in too long, I've seen them blow out computers and Dodges. Wow. So instead of changing the plugs, you get an $1,800 computer. So if somebody asked me, I'll be a little bit on the, the overkill side. Yeah, I will, honestly.
Mike, what do you think?
I think that's because I kind of do both highway and city traffic. So yeah, I'll change to a 60 then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Yeah. You know what? When it comes to maintenance, I think you got to have balance, and a lot depends on how you drive. And I have, gone to 10,000 miles between oil changes, and they check everything every 10,000 miles.
But in different conditions, they can sludge up in 10,000 miles with oil changes. So I just don't want to take a chance.
So if I take my car to you for an oil change, and I go to you, and you see that my oil pressure, because my tire sensors are off. Do you guys? You're not a dealer. Can you reset those? Can you work on those?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, different scanners.
I often wondered about stuff like that.
There is some proprietary, depending on the year of the car. We're always about a year and a half behind the OE.
Okay, but I almost wish I didn't have tire pressure monitors.
They're great when they work, but yeah, they can be annoying.
Mine seems to periodically go out.
Yep.
And say warning.
Yep, especially the cold, you'll drop a pound or two, and that's all it takes.
So now I go and I look at my tires. I went to Big O one time. I was not Big O, Discount, the one where they do it free, you drive through.
Yep.
And they said your tires are fine.
Yep.
So okay, then I was showing call roadside assistance. I mean, really, stop cautiously. How do you reset it if you know your tires are fine? Do you have to take it to somebody? They should have a way like you do your odometer to reset
There are a lot of cars that do. If you look in different manuals, there's different. Toad has that. A few of them have it where you can.
My Hyundai has. You can press a button and it shows you the pressure on all of your tires. So it's great, Tom. You just press a button and it gives you the pressure on each tire.
Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, some other things I wanted to talk about. These drones. I thought they have to be government or the government would do something about it, right? But they're showing up on both coasts now. And what's going on? I know, seriously. I mean, why aren't we up in arms about it? What's going on? And they're large. And does the Air Force have knowledge we don't have, or the government? Why aren't they doing anything about it?
I think it's the same nonsense we went through with the balloons. Remember the balloons flying over Montana and places?
It was one balloon, I thought.
It was more than one. It was a couple
the one that they
ones.
shot, they went out to sea.
Yeah, but originally there's not to worry about, and they never told us what it was.
So, okay, so I remember one time when I was watching the Twilight Zone, and there was an episode called Maple Street. And all of a sudden, what they did was aliens did a strange flash and loud noise in the sky, and the residents on Maple Street did not have any power. And they wanted to see how people would react. And it was a whole episode, and at the end you saw the aliens saying, now let's try this. And I'm thinking, I wonder if aliens are doing this to see how we're going to react to an invasion, because we're not doing anything. They're saying, wait, man, this is way easier than we thought. Now, next time we're going to land. I don't know. What do you think it is, really? We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are affecting your life and family, the Raleigh House is here.
Even the most crazy conspiracy theorists admit there's no advanced civilization on any of our planets, right? I mean,
talk. Hey.
So, okay. So even the conspiracy theorists admit there's no advanced civilization in our solar system, right? Which means that any aliens have to come from another galaxy, which means they have to have somehow conquered time travel.
Well, do we know that? Have we exhausted the possibility of life in this galaxy?
Oh, of course.
Well, have we? I don't know.
There's-
Are there any solar systems?
There's only one solar system. I'm talking in our
in this galaxy.
No, in our solar system. So, but the nearest star is several million light years away.
With planets rotating.
Yes, which means that somehow they would have to conquer time travel.
And then, well,
Let me finish.
or wormholes or something that we don't know
Here's the
about.
thing about a wormhole. You don't know ahead of time where the exit point is of that wormhole. How do you know that? So you go into it and you don't know where you're going to come out.
Unless they have manipulated matter, he doesn't fucking watch
Okay,
Star
no.
Trek.
Let me finish. If they're that smart,
Let him finish.
if they're that smart,
Let him finish.
they would either invade us or ignore us. They would have the technology to not be detected.
We're an ant colony.
But aren't the odds just... Wait, hold on. I think what you're saying is there are no aliens visiting us.
Right.
You're not saying there are no...
Oh, they exist. There are billions and billions of galaxies.
Exactly.
The
chances of us being the only life in the
a
entire
zero.
universe...
A zero. There are literally billions and billions of galaxies,
Right.
each with billions and billions of stars.
And some of them with planetary systems.
Well, they say now almost every sun has some planetary. A large majority of these suns have planetary systems. Not that they're in the Goldilocks zone, but just that they have satellites. So the odds on us being the only one are zero. So if they're that advanced, they would be able to cloak
You want
themselves.
to blow your mind? If an alien was 65 million light years away and they were to see Earth,
And one other thing, Tom,
they would see dinosaurs.
which is significant.
Yeah, it's true.
They would not see humans.
Why would, if there's an advanced civilization visiting us, why would they have 20 or 30 different kinds
So 65
of
million
ships?
years ago was dinosaurs.
So
They would
there are
live through
multiple
the Ice
sightings
Age,
of
they would
different kinds
see
of
the
UFOs.
Industrial Revolution.
So which means either they're wrong or there's a confederation of advanced civilizations that have all gotten together to observe us.
Do you think, though, seriously, it's within the realm of possibility that there are laws of physics that could be broken with that we don't know about? No, I'm serious. Like, how do we know? Light
I
travel.
think on a macro level, no. On a micro level, yes. I think the way the planets and the suns and space and everything is organized, I think our physics handle that. What happens like with quantum physics, on a atomic level, I think there are laws we don't know about yet.
You think right now what's good for the goose is good for the gander around the universe?
No, I'm saying on a macro level, I think.
No, I'm not talking about macro. I'm talking about in the universe because of you're saying all of the elements are basically the same and all of the structures and the...
Yeah, like say on a macro level, yes. What happens when you go down to the atomic level?
Oh.
There's stuff that we may not.
Macro is the atomic level, isn't it?
No, I'm talking about the way galaxies are formed, the way planets move, the way quasars emit, pulsars. I think that stuff is pretty well explained. But when you go down to the atomic level and quantum, I don't think we know what the hell is going on.
The Broncos have signed left tackle Garrett Bowles to a 4-year contract extension to the 2028 season. I don't want to go anywhere else. I could hit free agency and, earn more money or whatever it is. I never cared about it.
I could have left, but I didn't.
I think legacy speaks volumes for a type of man. And I wanted to create a legacy here. Bowles is having another excellent season, ranking second among
Hi.
pressure percentage and sack percentage. The 8-5 Broncos are coming off their bye week and host the 6-7 Colts on Sunday. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Now, if you're heading south of the metro area, maybe down towards Castle Rock, the delay
two morons.
Who?
Tell a man there's billions of galaxies. He believes you. Tell him the paint's wet and he has to touch it.
Who said that? It's pretty clever.
MH. It's perfect.
I love that.
But if the man could touch the galaxies, he would do it.
Well, he would. He tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd count them himself. But
44% complete copy. Woo!
It's getting there.
I'll take it.
Do you know what a pastafarian is,
Good
Tom?
afternoon. Thanks for calling the Tom Martino Show.
Do you know what a pastafarian is?
Somebody who's just pasta?
No, you should look it up some. About, I'll say 15 years ago, the
I can't
Kansas School
understand
Board
you. I don't
was
know
going to
if you
teach
have
creationism
me on speakerphone
in their
or on
science class.
Bluetooth, but I'm only
So
getting
some
about every second
brilliant
word.
guy said, you know what? If you teach that, you have to teach my religion. And I believe
Now I can
there's
hear
a
you. Okay, let's start over.
invisible
Okay.
flying spaghetti monster, blah, blah, blah. He made up this whole quasi-religion, and because he claimed it was religion, they either had to teach that or drop creationism, and the Kansas School Board dropped creationism in the science classes. And now there's a whole bunch of people who say they're pastafarians. They wear strainers on their heads. They dress up as pirates. And they said, you can't prove to me
Raven,
that the
please
flying
do a
spaghetti
follow-up.
monster
It's
doesn't
card today,
exist.
so I do have an
Because you
expert
can't prove a
on.
negative,
And you
right?
said it was a
But the whole thing is really funny.
the Church of the Flying.
And when did you call in?
You got to read about
10
it.
seconds.
It's hysterical.
Use the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just tap, record, and send, all within the app.
Get out there and be heard.
To Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 3713 Talk is the local number here in the studio. You can call directly or you can call 24/7 303 Martino, and you'll get through when we're here. 303-627-8466. Before the end of the last hour, I was talking about The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, a Twilight Zone episode where aliens disrupted the power in this neighborhood, Maple Street, and isolated the people. And I think their cars wouldn't run or anything, so they were all isolated. And then they started casting suspicion on each other as to who caused it or what they're all about and how weird they are. And the whole theme of the whole thing was that aliens did this on purpose, and the neighborhood devolves into chaos. And then they say to each other how easy it is to manipulate humans into self-destruction and paranoia and suspicion of each other. And they say, now all we have to do is do this in other streets. And so with when I remember hearing about the drones, and people are saying, oh, it's this, it's that, it's the cartel, it's the government, it's whatever. There's a million theories. And I'm thinking there's some aliens watching saying, this doesn't take much.
Remember the one about To Serve Man? That was the best Twilight Zone.
Surf Man?
To Serve, S-E-R-V-E.
Well, I may not know the title, but what was it about?
Well, these aliens came down and they did all these great things to humanity. And then they said, you know what? If you like it here, you can go back to our planet. It'll even be better. And they have this book that said To Serve Man, and it turned out to be a cookbook.
Oh, God. How ridiculous.
But that was a true Twilight episode.
I truly loved the episodes of Twilight Zone. How about the one where you see these people talking about, you see these people talking over a patient.
Oh, yeah.
And she's being unwrapped after plastic surgery. And you just hear voices, and you can see, and you're seeing through the eyes of the patient as the as the mummy is being unwrapped, how her wraps are coming off, and it's getting lighter and lighter. And they say, and one nurse can hear saying, I hope we've taken away her hideous looks, and let's hope this worked, this surgery, so she can blend in with society instead of being a freak, basically, right? And they keep unwrapping and unwrapping. And all of a sudden, now there was a bunch before the episode, but you never saw the people involved. You only saw her wrapped. So
you
finally,
see it through their eyes, not her eyes.
First, you're seeing it from her. You're absolutely seeing it first from her eyes, because when they unwrap her eyes and she looks out, they scream and say, "Oh my God, she's still hideous and ugly." And what the patient is looking at are pig men and pig women. And what they're looking at is a beautiful blonde woman who is the patient. And the beautiful blonde woman was the one who was having the surgery done to try to get rid of those hideous looks, and it didn't work. And so at first you're seeing it through her eyes as they're unwrapping the bandages, and then you hear them scream, and the doctor leans over her and says she's still hideous, and that doctor is a pig man. So that whole episode was beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? And all of their episodes had single themes like that, basically. On it's just amazing. Anyway, there was one where people were in an environment and they kept disappearing, or they kept appearing, new ones, and then food would just magically appear, and toys for the kids and all that. And it turns out at the end, they were playthings in an artificial environment for some kind of giant aliens. And it was akin to what we do with animals and gerbils and all that. So it was just another weird episode. I may not be thinking of the details exactly, but the themes for sure. And I just always thought they were ingenious. And then Star Trek tried to do that in another way, not so much in a horror genre, but in a science fiction-y space drama. Anyway, so if it's just cool. Anyway, Raven, she wants to talk about her transmission. Hey, Raven, 2021 Buick Envision. Wait, Raven, this is one we took. I remember you. I'm sorry. I told you to wait and see what they did with the rental car. To make a long story short, this woman bought this car new and had nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. And she just got so frustrated with them. And they said it was the control module, right, Kevin? And it would take months, possibly years.
Well, I think they were sarcastic saying years, but yeah.
Anyway, she was so upset. And they said, and if you keep calling here, we're going to take your loaner away, or we're going to make you pay for it. And I told her, as long as she has a loaner, let it go, because that's less miles and wear she's putting on her car while it's sit at the dealer. And as long as they're willing to replace whatever the module is and pay for that's free use of that car, go as long as we can. And then what we'll do is check back in a month or two to see if the part's in. Why are you calling so soon? Did something change?
Yes, sir. I was so wound up with you. You said you would have an investigator contact me soon. And what had happened was I just got off the phone. I didn't get to tell you on the radio that I spoke with Alicia, who's supposed to be customer service of General Motors, about October 16th, when I towed my vehicle back to the dealership. The dealership basically told me that they were not the ones, it was General Motors. So I contacted them and at that time asked for some answers. Well, just now I received a call from Alicia with the case number, and she'd like to let me know ahead of time that they are not repurchasing my vehicle. I've been declined for anything, and the part is, if they have it, will not even be shipped for till February, ending of February.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we suspected it was going to be a while, but they're also providing a loaner vehicle.
Yes, sir, but they also said they're not going to do a repurchase. So for me not even to have that considered.
Well, first of all, Raven, they don't get to decide if they're doing a repurchase, okay? They don't get to decide that. And again, right now, I think you should do what I said. You're getting yourself worked up because there's no reason to get yourself worked up. You're not using your 2021 Buick Envision. You're not putting miles on it. You're using the vehicle they're supplying to you at their cost. And here's the ultimate downside. Okay, let's say you have a loaner. I'm not saying this would happen. You have a loaner for 3 years. It did you no harm. You never have to worry about it. If you don't have to do maintenance, you don't have to do tires, you don't have to do anything but gas. You literally have a free car. If that was worst case, it's not going to be. But when they tell you, oh, by the way, we looked at your case number. Your car is not, I don't know what they mean, is not being supported anymore. But no matter what, if they cannot fix this car under warranty. Now, if they want to rent you a car the rest of your life, I guess they could do that if they want, technically. They won't. But they don't get to say whether they're going to repurchase it. Because as you heard from the attorney we had on, she said, you absolutely have a good case against them. And this is a case for repurchase or for damages. So I don't see how they're going to get out of it. Why do you even see, Raven, just listen to us and don't let yourself get worked up. Right now, what does it matter if for the next year you have a replacement vehicle? What does it matter? Tell me, is there some emotional attachment? What would be
I think it was the last thing that I was able to work for and pay off, and now I'm sick, and I'm being told that I have
Raven,
medical conditions.
Raven, I'm asking a question, please, dear. I know that you're focused on your health. I understand. But if truly for the next year you drove a nice replacement vehicle, what harm would it do you?
I guess I wanted to enjoy the car that I picked for myself to enjoy.
I understand that. I totally do. I understand that. Yeah, that's reasonable. That's what I was asking. But it's doing you no harm, really. And
no, you're right. I just wanted to update you that that's what they said. So I got nervous when the lawyer told us arbitration, we can ask for a repurchase. And right away,
what she meant was, here's what she meant. She says, Tom, right now, here's what she said. Tom, right now, paying for the replacement vehicle. So we ought to ride that. The next thing is, let's see how long it takes to get the part. And then the next thing is, if they can't do any of those, the replacement vehicle or the part, then we can sue them. And she most assuredly will either get her money back or another car. That's what, and it hasn't changed, Raven. Don't let anyone upset you. And you did right by calling us back. We're on your side, okay? We really are, okay? Thank you very much. And we do. How can I say this? We babysit these cases. We have someone on it, and we will get directly involved. Now, I know in the media, by the way, there are all kinds of people who claim to solve problems and to be on your side and whatever other moniker they want to give. And I understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that. The more people we can get shaking up the system, the better. But they do one thing and one thing only. They draw publicity to it, which is good. But they never get directly involved. Never. Not once. Not once. Have any of them hired an attorney? Not once have any of them gone to court. Not once have any of them ever did anything like find another contractor to do it. So when people say they get involved, they're on your side and they're problem solvers, that's good. It's better than nothing. But trust me when I tell you, this brand that I built over 45 or 50 years, this is direct involvement for you. I'm Tom Martino. We got more coming up.
I think she's just a
worry word.
A worry, exactly. I was going to say something else, but
a nut.
There are some low IQ people out there.
Well, she's had some medical stuff, so I'm sure there's some mental that goes along with it, frustrations and stuff. But she does have to be careful. The squeaky wheel doesn't always get the most grease. You get thrown out the door sometimes. Yeah.
There's a balance.
There is.
Vestera Turnkey, a way to get involved in real estate as a landlord without the conventional hassles or risks. Esteemed broker Barry Miller has put together a program with his team of real estate experts that find markets where you can still find values in rental property and where rents are strong. And he helps you acquire those as your broker. He makes a referral commission, and that's all he makes. He passes on all of the management to the management company without any markups. You deal with the management company. In fact, Barry Miller and his team can even take phone calls for you, day-to-day business. So you have the benefit of professional people on your side. And then they tell you when to sell it, and you make money. He's doubled people's money sometimes in 2 years. VesteraTurnkey.com or MyBiggestReturns.com, MyBiggestReturns.com. And, here's the deal. I've known him personally for so many years, and you can trust him. And that is VesteraTurnkey.com. MyBiggestReturn, that's singular.com. Okay, now let's talk about real estate in another way. Let's say you want that real estate evaluated, a contract, a finance agreement, or you're a landlord and you need help negotiating a new lease or doing an eviction. For all real estate needs, O'Brien Legal Services. That's Brad O'Brien and his team. And that's olslaw.com. olslaw.com. 720-370-7388.
Biden's going to break the record for pardonings.
He did already.
Well, he did single day, but I don't know about the whole.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who did?
Gotta be done by now.
I don't know. I was trying to find it.
Was already.
Yeah, his 1,500 in one day was by
I
far
mean,
the
you're
biggest in one day.
And yes, the shows, yes. I moved over to the interviews. I am 40% done with the interviews.
Got it.
Man, everybody's getting
It's
on
happening.
That thing, and this motherfucker ain't
I don't think I need anything else.
It's all going to the highest bidder, though. I guarantee there's going to be little donations along the way.
Everything else over already prior to that.
I just wonder if he's going to try to pre-pardon somebody before they're even tried, or what would they call that? Preemptive pardon?
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze, and right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's
All right, Cal, wake up. Let's go. Gotta go to this meeting.
How did St. Elsewhere end? You talked about.
I don't know. I haven't heard that in a long time. St. Elsewhere.
Yeah.
TV show.
What he says is that where there was a big hole at the end. And LAPD posted.
Has any ideas? Give us a call. I know you are expert.
If I don't follow these things.
Our Americans, Denver's talk station.
So Tom, when you go to Hawaii, which island do you stay on?
Oh, we
love
Maui. We just have always done that. And then I rent a helicopter.
What can we learn from the 2020?
I got checked out from this one place.
Red-pilled America. We tell the story of how Donald Trump won the race for the White House. Again, listen to Red-pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. It's Red-pilled America, a storytelling show.
K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 K-How.
All right, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I'm not sure what this text means. And by the way, you can text me 24/7. You can me, and or during the show, and then my Google number comes right to my cell phone. It's 747-999-5280. 747-999-5280. You can also do the iHeart short code that all the other shows use as well, 57739. But anyway, so on my Google text, it says, have you noticed all Buicks are driven by Chicanos? What the hell does that mean? No. Okay, but okay. And I don't know what that was supposed to be, a joke or and then the other one says, Tom, here's something from Wikipedia. According to witness reports, the drones flew in grid formations in groups of 19, up to 19, visible at night between 6 and 10. The FAA, FBI, and local law enforcement investigated, but have not yet determined the operator of the drones. Flying drones at night without a waiver is a violation of federal law. Well, why haven't they done anything about it? I find that shocking. Are we that stupid? Well, I'll bet you those drones would be shot down if ever they had like MAGA lights, like LEDs, MAGA. Anyway, sometimes digital hoarding is good. I talked about digital hoarding, guys, and it's where you have everything on your computer like you would around a house. You never get rid of a file. Anyway, sometimes it's good. I have a computer repair shop here in Sterling, and there's been times when we have to reload a customer's computer and they have specific software they use. Oftentimes, we can find that software from their old downloads. Okay, I see what they're saying. All they have to do are computer backups. You don't have to do a hoarding. But anyway, like last week, we had to reload a customer's computer. They had an older version of QuickBooks and didn't want to update. So I see. So anyway, well, if you update, you can update all that. What I mean is backup is what I mean. She was able to find the original version from 4 or 5 years ago. So in this case, hoarding served her to get her computer back to the way it was. Actually, all right. Tom, glad you're doing better than our president, Joe Biden, because I'm sure he can't wait to move on from that meat grinder of the White House. And that's because I was saying, hey, at least I'm doing better than Biden, right? Because people sometimes make fun of me. Okay, but good fun. There's no one vicious here. Somebody wants to know, what about mineral rights? And that was based on a call about, and it's too much to get into, but basically, I just want to say this. Mineral rights do not always go along with land rights. Not always. Sometimes they were sold earlier, and when you buy land, someone who has the mineral rights may have access to your land to get those minerals, and it depends on what the deed restrictions are.
Is that what title insurance will cover, Tom?
Title insurance will show it.
Right, that's the same. So
yeah, they'll show exceptions.
That's their obligation.
They'll show exceptions, yeah. Now, looking for an extended warranty for my 2021 GMC Sierra 1500. I am out of my 3-year, 36,000-mile factory warranty. So what they're looking for is a true extended warranty, one they can pick up now. Now, what's odd is GM should have written to them before this and And if they did, I would just continue the factory warranty.
Yes.
That's the safest. I do not like Car Shield and the rest of them. Do you?
No, they're not up to par with the OE stuff. Not at all.
So, or call a GM dealer or call somebody at GM and ask them. Now, I was having a conniption fit listening to Mark about his A1C. He says he eats really healthy for 30 days and then goes and gets his blood work done, and the A1C looks excellent. And he wanted to know, so what good is that? No, I know what this guy's saying. He to make his blood work looks good. He does I heard him say
he
something.
does like a 30-day cleanse or something.
But that doesn't mean he's healthy. It just means
it doesn't mean anything. It means he tricked the test.
That's a hack.
Yeah.
He says, anyway, so this doc chimed in and didn't know how long it was that A1C goes back. A1C is a 3-month rolling average. You knew that, right, Doc?
Off the top of my head, I forgot it.
Yeah. Anyway, tell Mark to eat like he normally does, and that gets a true picture of his health. And that's true. Was Mark joking about that when he says he does it just to make his blood work?
I think he was talking about his life insurance physical, too. Right?
Okay, well, that's
so he kind of cheated that
So
one.
he's hacking it.
Yep.
Tom, will you check to see if you have case 31 blocked on YouTube? Oh, I see. It's written 31. Oh, that's why they said it's blocked.
That's the Mark.
I don't have her blocked or him blocked on YouTube. I don't know what that's about. Hold on. I will get to the calls if we have them here. Hold on. No, we don't. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. YouTube. YouTube was still on. That's because when I'm remote, YouTube feed sometimes was on. I thought it was very funny on the podcast when Deputy Doc and Deputy Dimitri were arguing about the murder of the healthcare CEO. At one point, Doc screamed out, "For God's sake, this killing is not justified." Well, of course it's not. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious because Doc was invoking God, and he's an atheist. He's, that's a sane person. Anyway, has he seen the light now? I love everything you do. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So here's the thing about that murder. I don't think Dimitri was saying it's justified. I think he was saying we don't know the guy's reasoning. I really do think that's what he was saying. And I don't know. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. Here's the deal. Murder is never justified except in self-defense, literal self-defense, not retribution, not revenge. Although there have been cases in the past where fathers have done retribution based on their daughters. Very rare cases.
Yeah, the guy in Texas who beat a guy to death with a shovel because he saw him molesting his daughter in the barn.
Right. And the immediate danger was over, so they prosecuted him, saying the immediate danger was over. But the jury did not convict him.
No, they didn't prosecute him in Texas, I believe.
They didn't even prosecute him?
No. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
When I say God, can you say goddamn?
No.
Okay. When I say for God's sake or something like that.
Or GD or whatever.
It's just a generic saying.
I know it
doesn't
is.
I'm just telling the caller, the texter, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Anyway, 303-713-8255. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
This is Denver's Talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, she just.
I think in Texas they told him next time dig a hole.
She was kind of an older lady, and all those phishing emails and I don't know if they do it anymore, if they've moved on to like bigger and better things, but they used to like lock down all your system for ransomware and like used to demand all that stuff.
Yeah.
So she clicked on a link.
Know about a transmission, how much?
And all of a sudden, and we were all interconnected on one network.
And then another one.
So at one point, I'm like doing my show stuff. I think I was writing a script, and then all of a sudden, everything just went it went black, blue, red, orange, and then black screen. And I'm like, my God, my computer just totally like died. So then I my office was next to my boss. He runs out and he's like, my computer just
Okay, I
crashed.
know it's me. All right, it's my turn to talk about weight loss. DenverRegen.com. By the way, they do stem cell
entire
therapy too for
office
pain,
was down.
of
Every single
joints,
computer.
and tendons,
We
and they do
unfortunately had
hair
an
restoration.
A1
They've done
and
a great job for
V1.
me. I mean, I don't know if you guys notice
Kind of
who
like
watch,
the same
but
dude.
man, it's
He
been
can do pretty much
it's been
everything. He's
amazing.
kind of a
They
jack of
also
all
do
trades.
the weight loss
And
compounded
his,
drugs that you can get
hobby
for pennies on the
was hacking.
dollar instead of the
So
brand
he was
names like
able
Ozempic
to
and Mounjaro and all that.
go back
You
in
can get
time. I don't know
tirzepatide and
what the hell he
semaglutide
did,
starting
but
at $295
he
a
was
month.
able to
No
got,
long-term commitment. That
fix it. It
includes
took a
doctor's
couple
visits.
hours. So I
One
actually
thing I want to
ended
say
up
about
going
that,
home and
these
working from home because I
compounded
was
drugs,
like,
even if you start
I'll just,
before the holidays, you still enjoy food.
And,
Every
I didn't
bit as much
know
as
why I
you've
did
ever
on my
done.
laptop,
It just doesn't require that you eat as much to feel satisfied.
So
it's
I just left
amazing.
because I didn't know how long
and
it was going to take.
again, you don't have to wait till
And,
after the holidays to try it.
So he calls me a couple out,
DenverRegen.com.
When it's fixed, and he's like, "Hey, I was able to get everything good, so you're cool to come in tomorrow." I'm like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I can't tell you."
Nah.
Very important. I'm like, okay. All right. Time for a little walk.
The Buffaloes continue to roll in non-conference play. This is Voice of the Boss Mark Johnson. Tonight, Red Hot CU battles the South Dakota State Jackrabbits in Boulder. Coverage begins at 6:30.
Thanks for calling Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a moment.
We'd love to see you guys on New Year's Eve. I have no idea who you are, but I'll come. Did you ever get text you don't know where they're from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
I'm looking at the invite. Let's see.
Now, Tom, seriously, would you be upset if your daughter was one of these models, just a lingerie model?
No, not if she decided to do it. Why?
I'm just curious. I never had a daughter, so I don't know if I would.
I mean, there's part of me that would cringe, but the truth is, what are they doing? They're not killing people. You know?
No, they're just walking around in lingerie.
Exactly.
No, I meant that as a serious question because I never had a daughter.
Okay, so this party invite says they have no idea who I am. Okay, the link doesn't work. Oh, there it is. Open house. Oh, I know who they are. Wait a minute.
In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many women, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person.
Oh.
What do you?
I know who that is. That actually would be fun.
From a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who got help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Oh.
Do you have to dress up for New Year's Eve?
Each one of those depends on the host.
Great financing special. Now is the time to get started. First-class kitchen updates with our own custom-built cabinets, a done-right unique cabinet refacing, elegant bathrooms, top-notch basement finishing, and the finest replacement doors and windows. Our family's been serving Colorado for decades, and we love serving too. Would you do a 2X or project now, and you will save 10% on regular retail prices or receive a great financing special. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, fittings, and doors.
My son's getting accepted.
303-722-2295, 800-360-8370, or crhi.com.
Hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com. It's the Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Dan is still representing a client at trial, so Rocky Mountain Voice founder and former Republican nominee for governor here in Colorado, Heidi Gunnall, fills in on a Friday edition of the Dan Kaplan Show right here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Listen, I wanted to tell you that I've had a number of people that we are getting to, and I apologize if we haven't, on Wave 8 Wealth Management, and I certainly appreciate your trust. And we have found numerous cases where people have been being overcharged and in inappropriate investments, and they thought they were doing wonderful. Look, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. If you have a great way of doing things, we'll tell you. I promise you that's not what this is about. I want you to be doing well. There are some people we've told they're doing great, and some people don't need any help whatsoever, and they can do things they were doing on their own, by the way, totally on their own. Anyway, so if you want help, if you want us to go over it, I've met with people personally, and we've gone over their results, and they've been very, very happy with what we've told them. Here's the point, and I took some notes on some of the stuff I'm finding. A lot of people are building equity, but they're not planning for cash flow. In retirement, equity will do you no good. As you grow toward retirement, you have to start thinking of equity as transferring to income or retirement. That doesn't always mean an annuity, by the way. There are many, many ways to do that. But it's like anything. I mean, an exaggerated example would be artwork, for example. Okay, that's equity, meaning it grows and it's valuable, but it does nothing for you as you get older if it's not income. Unless you want to leave it, that's different. But this is what's really important. It's the conversion from equity to cash flow. And then when you're younger or middle-aged and you have cash flow, but you're not converting it to equity, that's another mistake, because cash flow can be spent or just saved and you end up losing it, or it deteriorates, or inflation eats it up. But if you take some of that cash flow and move it into equity and then let that sit, that'll grow. So there's two ways that you gain net value, but only one way to achieve wealth, and that's in the knowledge of when to transfer back and forth from equity to cash flow. Okay? That's really the importance. That's the biggest mistakes people make. They're either top heavy in cash flow with no equity, or top heavy in equity with no cash flow, or they don't know when to go back and forth. And I want to say one thing about real estate. Investment real estate is great, but here's something you need to know about real estate. And this is why Barry over at Vestera Turnkey, if you listen to his program, he very seldom keeps his people in the rentals more than 3 years. Very seldom. He moves them in, he moves them out. Sometimes they 1031 into new ones. Sometimes they just sell and take the money. Why does he do that? Well, this is something you need to know about real estate. If you're investing to become a landlord, you get depreciation and you get write-offs for expenses, and then you get income for rent. The object is to get rental income which is offset by depreciation to an extent. So the depreciation is an invisible expense, right? So that's good for you. Now, what you have then is equity as well. So now you have depreciation that helps in taxes. You have rent, which helps with income. And then you have equity, which helps later on to sell. It's all wonderful. But here's the mistake a lot of people make who are landlords. They get into it for too long. So as you get into your 60s or later, and you have all this equity, the asset's getting older. When you have equity growing and assets getting older, you have the risk of an event, a major event, a big giant HVAC system or roof or just anything. I'm not saying it always happens, but no matter what, there will always be something because it is not monolithic and permanent. It is a deteriorating asset, and you have to keep up on it. So as you get older, while you love that income and you love that equity, you should harvest that equity and then convert it to a safer form of income. So you still get the income you love from real estate without having to go over and paint or change bulbs or have a management company. You could take the equity now and put it into municipal bonds or even a fixed indexed annuity or other investments where the income is still there, but the deterioration and depreciation is long behind you. So again, conversion. The mistake people make sometimes is not the accumulation, it's the conversion and knowing when to convert. I love talking about this stuff because I see it every day. And here's the problem. I think a lot of people, if they haven't addressed them in a while, they start saying, you know what? I don't want to think about it. It's just something you keep putting off. I know I do that sometimes, that I don't get to my financial statements or when you balance your accounts or your QuickBooks. The longer you stay away, the harder it is to get back. But then once you do it, you feel so good, right? Anyway, our number is 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, or 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. By the way, you can also, if you want to get a hold of Wave 8 Wealth Management for a free consultation, you want to talk to me and shoot the breeze, 303-771-HELP, 303-771-4357. You can text or call and leave a message, 303-771-HELP. The website is wave8capital.com, the number 8. And two interesting items, this guy said, from the United Healthcare. This is a text. United Healthcare murder. Oh, do I have to take this break? Okay, real quick. His family is very rich, and if he had some claim denied for surgery, his family could have paid for it. And he apparently had, I'm sorry, they're talking about not the CEO, the suspect. He is rich, from a rich family. So therefore, even if he was turned down, they could have paid for it. And the second one, he wasn't even a customer.
Right, that's the weird part of it, don't you think, Tom?
Yeah, maybe he had a friend going through something. Maybe they came to him saying, hey, I know you have back problems. I have back problems. What did you do? My insurance company, who knows? We're going to find out.
Psychologist that works with all of the FBI and all of the police agencies. You've spoken to him before.
Yeah.
He's the guy that does all the forensic psychology for all the police and FBI in Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
Well, I'm going to try to get him on the air.
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, I sent a text to him any day next week.
You did not.
See if he has a few minutes. Because he'd be really interesting to talk to about this. He did all the Columbine stuff and everything that's happened.
Fascinating.
The shooter in at the movie theater.
Hey,
Oh,
Zach.
yeah, sure.
Good. How are you? Guess I can put my jacket on.
The Art of Granite will
the
get
old
you a
one.
price right now for your countertops or your art niches, where you put granite in there or stone or your windowsills or your bars. even your islands, whatever it is, you can get a price. And it's not only granite. They do all natural stone, all made man material. I think except for concrete. They do it all as far as countertops. They love giving prices on the phone. As always, tear out and haul away is always free. And it's always wholesale on the materials. So give them a call, 303-386-5919. Spruce up your house for the new year, 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
The art of granite.
You know, the other day I was thinking about the back pain and thinking about, you know, every day, actually, not the other day, I'm sitting down putting on my socks, and I used to think, where I'm bending over, putting up pants, and thinking, there's no pain. Every fucking day since I was in my late 40s, I had
pain. Yeah.
And then it got so bad. I'm telling you, man. No more steroids.
But now it's gone, right?
Steroids. Did you hear him? Steroids.
But I thank God so much for that. The medical advancements are incredible.
That's pretty cool stuff.
People tell me, oh, I don't want surgery. Oh my God! Think about that. If it can get you out of pain, why wouldn't you want it?
Yep.
I had the same thing 15 years ago. I had the surgery.
Yeah, but you didn't have a fusion, did you?
No, well, I had a fusion and I had a plate put in. But the point is,
you're amazing because most fusions fail. You know.
I've for 15 years.
I
I'm
don't
the day
get it.
after I woke up, it was gone.
Yeah,
I got lucky.
You know, yeah, you must.
He's still alive. So hopefully
How many level fusion was it?
2.
Killed himself.
Okay, so that's probably because it wasn't so big. But man, Doc, fusions are a nightmare.
I know.
I don't even think he's got
would
enough to go
Yeah.
temporary insanity
Even though you
because
get relief
there's
free,
too much
you
evidence
will
of
too.
premeditation.
Well, I had fusion plus the plate put in, which really.
Yeah, my dad had one back in
I don't
the
quite
70s.
understand. I think the plate.
Good
was
luck
part
with
of
that
the
one.
fusion.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that?
back in the 70s, my dad had his back fused.
And
He did fine with it. Yeah, he lived.
You know
to-
what?
He lived almost to
I'll
90.
give
yeah.
you a reason. The only way you can do fine with fusion is if you continue to move.
Mhm.
Because the problem with fusion is people have already delegated themselves
Oh, yeah.
as
Sure.
a back patient.
Oh, yeah.
And because the fusion doesn't feel natural when you move,
Mhm.
they don't.
It stiffens you up. It definitely does.
And so if you're not strong above and below the fusion, it fails.
Mhm.
And I think people who say, oh, I'm out of pain, and they go about their life and they golf and they exercise or walk, I think that it doesn't get weak.
Mhm.
I think people get weak after knees and after backs and after certain things because they've had a mindset.
they protect it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting
Yeah.
it. And they get this mindset of being disabled almost.
No, it's true. My dad, he played golf every day of his life after that. Yeah.
Because there's a
Never
reason,
any good at it,
There's a
but he
reason
played.
85% of fusions fail. There's
Yeah.
a reason. I mean,
Sure.
it's not like they're not doing them right.
Well, when I had my knee done, the surgeon told me, if you're not going to exercise, don't do it.
I know, because you know
Just don't.
why? Knees, especially knees, can literally make you feel like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
If you don't.
No, you got to every day.
You got to get that connective tissue around it, because otherwise, my father-in-law explained it like it feels unreal.
It does. It's almost like a big like a big piece of
That's
duct tape
right.
wrapped
That's
around your
right.
knee. Yeah. Yeah. Now I walk the dogs every morning, then every night I ride a bike watching the news, and you know.
It's the muscles that have to, because my contention is the reason we're seeing so many injuries in football is because you can exercise, you can take steroids, you build up these muscles, ligaments are
they don't get
are
any
not.
bigger.
You can't build them up to compensate for the excess tension from the overdeveloped muscles.
That's what Tom Brady said. He's never had an injury. And he
Yeah, you
said-
can't build your
he
joint.
used the word over and over and over and over. Pliability. He's done tapes on it. Have you ever talked?
Say that-
Tapes. Pliability.
Oh yeah.
He is a fucking bugaboo.
Doc and I agree on another thing.
Weird. Pliability and
That
stretching.
keeps happening.
And he makes a point. But there, you know, because you're right. You're right. If you build up your muscles, my orthopedic, when I went for that knee the other day just to see what's wrong with it, he says you're overbuilding. Believe it, you overdid your muscles on one side. He says,
Yeah.
people think muscles are good. He says muscles can cause problems.
Sure.
Your ACL and all that, they don't grow proportional. They don't grow. So you have somebody like me, let's say someone like me.
Yeah.
My ACL is the same as a lineman on the Broncos, who weighs 300 pounds.
Right.
Has all muscles.
Right.
And the body was not meant to take the stress that these professional athletes put on it.
I listen to Dan Kaplis.
With Dan Kaplis. Afternoons at 4 on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I have Kevin Calkin. What are we going to do in the car business now as far as the coming days? Are things the same, getting better? Anything people should watch out for? Buying a car, servicing cars, used cars. What are you seeing? Let's just talk about that.
Used cars are hard to find and they're expensive, so get them pre-checked.
Yes, for sure.
We do a ton of pre-checks, and probably half of the cars don't pass.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
Or at least they know what they're facing.
Yes.
Because when you pre-check, you can say, hey, this car's going to need this, this, and this, and this is what it will cost.
Exactly.
So then you take that cost and you compare it to the purchase price.
Yep. You can either renegotiate purchase price or just get a different car in better shape or whatever. But yeah, please
you
get
said
them
about
checked.
half of the cars end up being
When
duds.
I say failed, I mean they need more than $2,000 in repairs.
And what level of car are you checking for people? What price ranges?
Probably between 10 and 20, most of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it at the prices you charge, you should even get a car checked if you're paying $5,000 or $6,000.
Oh, absolutely. For $150? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. And what you do is you find out the condition of a car. And as far as the tires, I wanted to ask you something. If you have a choice of all-weather or snow tires in Colorado, I'm almost leaning toward all-weather because snow tires, what if you put them on in the last snowstorm?
But in
They're
Denver,
worn out by this dry pavement.
But unless somebody goes to the mountains a lot.
Okay.
Because the difference with snow tires is the ice. That you get blizzaks and things, they grip like studded snows do without studs.
So, but let me ask you this. Just how bad is regular pavement on snows?
It just, you get 25,000 miles on a set of snow tires where, 50, 60 on a set all season, mileage-wise.
But you always have trade-off.
Yes. They're softer. That's why they grip the ice.
Now, do you change snow tires too?
Yeah, all the time.
When do you put them on?
Anymore, people aren't putting them on because
I know. That's what I'm
it's changing.
Anyway, I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget referralist.com. And, of course, Wave 8 Capital, 303-771-HELP. And then you can call 303-MARTINO around the clock for help, information, and referrals, and save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app.